Happy New Year's Eve from Memorial Gardens. This is Battalion Hockey on the Frontline broadcast. I'm your host, Derek Lindeman. I'm pleased to be joined by Bob Coles and Matt Sukram for the afternoon's game. This is the Long's Maple Syrup pregame show. Long's Maple Syrup, you can get it all year round. Just go to longsmaplesyrup.ca. There you can find out recipes for anything from breakfast items all the way through to your dessert. Why not check them out to pick up fine local maple syrup? That's longsmaplesyrup.ca. Bob, two teams coming in on 5-game losing streaks. We've seen the North Bay Battalion kind of slump lately, losing again Wednesday down in Mississauga, a hard 5-4 game. What has to happen for this team to break out of this small slump?
I don't know if they're in a slump exactly. I just think maybe they've come to earth a little. Remember, a couple of those losses came before Christmas. The high-scoring overtime loss to Niagara, the one-goal loss to Mississauga running into Romeo Bazran that Friday night, and then one game since the break, which was a tough one. They actually outplayed Mississauga, ran into some goaltending again, and their goaltending wasn't as sharp as it's been throughout the year. So I think they need Joe Bruvetic to basically, this is when Joe Bruvetic really begins to have a big role on the team. You've lost a few in a row. You might be in that slump, as you say. You need Joe Bruvetic to do what he does, keep you in the game, give you a chance to win, and let's see if North Bay can do it. And it'll be interesting. Ottawa, a team that was expected to do a lot better, but they really struggled before the Christmas break. Ottawa's story, this is meeting number 4 of 6. They're playing Ottawa 6 times. This is actually the March 9th game we're doing today in the bizarreness of COVID. The 2 games with Oshawa, which were scheduled today and tomorrow, they'll be played later. So this is the 4th of 6 with Ottawa. They shut out Ottawa here. They lost to them in the last minute of the first meeting, and then they lost in overtime as well, right? So they've had some hard-fought battles, and Ottawa 5-4 the last 5 years. They've come to North Bay, so Ottawa usually plays well here, and North Bay needs a win.
So just to get you caught up on speed of what's going on and why Ottawa's in town, a lot has happened over the last 3 days or so. It was supposed to be Oshawa here this afternoon for a 1 o'clock contest, and then home and home with Oshawa, as they were going to be in Oshawa tomorrow afternoon for a New Year's Day game. But unfortunately, those games had to be canceled due to COVID reasons on the Oshawa Generals' part. And then stepping up to the plate, Ottawa proposed, why not they come into town for a New Year's Eve game, and it was debating going back and forth between times, and finally settling on 4 p.m. for a start time New Year's Eve. That's how we got to this point. And then, unfortunately, with the Ontario government stepping in and saying that attendance had to be capped at 1,000 people, we're going to see a very low attendance crowd here tonight, as there's only 400 and some odd seats available for spectators. Something we talked about the lack of spectators in Mississauga and how it plays there. Bob, how's only having the odd 464 odd spectators in here going to affect the North Bay Battalion?
I don't think it'll affect them too much. They're used to be playing in what shall we say? They just played in Mississauga, and that's usually not sold out. So it's that type of environment. You just have to bring your A game. Doesn't matter if the stands are packed. They're not packed today, or no one's in attendance. You've got to earn your ice time. You've got to play well and be ready to go once the puck drops. And same story for Ottawa. A lot of teams aren't playing right now because so many postponements. You get the opportunity to play. And remember, Derek, there's teams like Sudbury. They've played, 24 games this year. North Bay's over 30. So you've got to take advantage of these games when you have them, because other teams are going to catch up schedule-wise. as we move through the winter.
And one of those teams, Barrie Colts, only at 22 games. So something that we're trying today is not only are we coming to you from the Battalion YouTube channel that you've been able to follow all along all season with us on, but we're also going to be broadcasting through the Battalion Facebook streaming option, so you'll be able to either listen to us on YouTube or on Facebook. I'll be joining in on the Facebook and YouTube in order to answer any questions or comments that you may have about the game. And it's just weird because I saw the next two upcoming games, both Thursdays, and both Mississauga is supposed to be the opponent.
Yeah, the Thursday's scheduled game will be played, we hope, next Thursday night. Then they're supposed to play Barrie on the road next weekend. That's been postponed already. So that'll be North Bay's only game next week, and then the following Thursday again. And then they have a home and home with Barrie, and you hope Barrie's up to speed by then.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we have not heard about any cases in the North Bay dressing room, so it's nice to see how it's not affecting us, and we're doing such a great job here in North Bay in the area of keeping it out of this locker room, and such a great atmosphere for these kids, knowing how important this season is and especially now that the World Juniors were canceled 2 days ago. That's another talking point, because Dave Cameron, coach of the Ottawa 67s, was with Team Canada, and 67s are going to be without Vinez Rohrer, who was with Austria at the World Juniors. You might remember that name as he won the Player of the Game in the Team Canada game not too long ago, Bob.
Yeah, one of the few bright spots in that game. They lost 11-2 to Canada, and it turned out it was the final game of the tournament. Unfortunate that it was postponed, but a lot of people were upset that after only 4 cases it was postponed, but 5 the next day. So I think the right decision was made, but certainly it's sad that we didn't get to see the culmination of that tournament.
And as the festive season is coming to a conclude, we thank you for joining in on New Year's Eve for the annual North Bay Battalion New Year's Eve game. We were expecting Ottawa stepping in at the last minute. What kind of mental focus does that deter on a team such as North Bay, not expecting, going through the phases? First you're playing Oshawa, then no game, now Ottawa. How do you prepare for that?
I don't think you do any different preparation. I think you're glad to be playing. I'm sure initially you're going, we don't play till next week. We lost. That was our only game of the week, and it was a loss. So now they get a chance for a little redemption, right? They play Ottawa, a team they played before, a team they know, and a chance to get back on the ice, and that's what you want. You want the rhythm of the season to get going, and we're just off the Christmas break here, and you're thinking you're not going to play 2 games you were expecting. And they would have been great games, great measuring sticks too. I mean, Oshawa, led by Callum Ritchie, for example, Tulio, another fine player, and then suddenly those games are gone. And but they acted quickly. Adam Dennis and company acted quickly, got another team in here, and they'll get a New Year's Eve day game in. So I'm sure the players are pumped and excited to get back right out there after a tough loss on Wednesday in Mississauga.
Yeah, and just talking about the North Bay Battalion roster quickly, they're going to be missing 2 forwards, going with 11 forwards tonight, as regularly we're going to see Kyle Jackson still out of the lineup due to injury. We've been told week to week, not really sure how long he's going to be missing. And also missing tonight's game is Dallin Wakely. Not really sure, no word on what's going on with Dallin Wakely. Inserted into the lineup, though, from just down the road in Powassan, Radion Tatarenko making his second start for this OHL team. And getting the starting goal, Bob, is Joe Bruvetic.
Yeah, Joe Bruvetic, no surprise there. Dom DiVincentis played on Wednesday. It'll be interesting to see how Bruvetic does. Remember, he was in net in that last game against Mississauga before Christmas, and also I think he was in net against Niagara too, which wasn't a very good game for the battalion defensively. So I'm sure Bruvetic's out to prove some things. Now, they only had 10 forwards on Wednesday. Josh Curry in the lineup today, so that's a good thing. And but you know, players got to deal with this stuff all the time. Lineups change. It doesn't matter who's not in. It's matter who's in. And it's a good chance for guys like Anthony Romani, for example, to step up. The defense should be better with Christopoulos, Mathurin, and Arnsby all in the lineup. So the first line really hasn't changed. Mitchell Russell up there. So I think Battalion are just trying to adjust to the changing conditions. But, this is going to happen for the rest of the regular season. You expect to have weekend off, and then suddenly you got 2 games to play because you got building availability issues as well as COVID restrictions. And so players are just learning on the fly here as we go.
One player I want to ask you about, though, is Owen Van Steensel. We're going to see him on the left wing on that second line with Liam Arnsby and Josh Curry. How much confidence is that going to provide for such a young kid?
Oh, I think he's a guy that, again, he's one of those guys on this team that they're expecting things from in the second half. He's shown flashes, right? He's shown flashes, but not consistency. And I think that's what they're looking for in the second half from guys like Outwater, Van Steensel, Curry, Potaluch. All these guys, they need that consistency.
Let's turn our attention now for a moment to the Ottawa 67s lineup. Getting the start for the 4th time against this North Bay Battalion squad, Will Cranley, a draft pick out of St. Louis. He's showing pretty good so far this year for the Ottawa 67s.
Well, put it this way. Will Cranley does not have bad games. You may beat him sometimes. They beat him 3-0 here, but he doesn't have bad games. He saved them in that first game on a Sunday afternoon. He was outstanding in the third period. North Bay really could have won that game in regulation, but Cranley kept them in it, and then they won it on a penalty shot in the last minute. And then in the third game, Ottawa controlled play in the third period, but again, Cranley kept the puck out of the net. So, and Joe Bruvetic at the other end, that's what he's supposed to do. So I think every time these two teams play, I think it's going to be a goaltender's battle because both goalies really show up.
And you can't blame Will Cranley in the 3-0 shutout. If his team's not putting goals up, it's hard for the goaltender to pick up the win. Some other news coming out of Ottawa is the addition of Tyler Boucher out of the university ranks, coming in the new year to join the Ottawa 67s. He was a 7th-round pick back in 2019.
Yeah, and the Ottawa Senators want to see him up close, and so they've signed him, and he's likely going to play with the 67s, and they'll get a close look here. Of course, he's not in the lineup today, but he will be a factor, I think. Ottawa obviously likes him because the Senators, that is, they like him, and so close with the junior team. So, yeah, that's sort of the thinking with the Senators is let's see what this guy's got. Can he play at the NHL level? Let's see how he does at the junior level first. And so I'm sure they're excited in Ottawa about adding a guy who maybe can get things going. But certainly the big decision to put him in junior is he's not ready for the NHL yet, but they want to see what he's got.
Ottawa Senators have signed him to a entry-level contract. Now let's talk about specialty teams. Ottawa 67s near the bottom of both the power play and penalty kill with the North Bay Battalion within the top 5 of the power play. How is specialty teams going to play a factor this evening?
Well, I think get penalties at your own peril, Derek, for the Ottawa for sure. And everyone knows about North Bay's line, right? Their big line. And Arnsby and Nelson will be added in on the power play. So, you don't want to get penalties against either of these teams. And Ottawa's got the guy I like on Ottawa. I really like him. Watch for him today. Brady Stonehouse. He's a young player, but he's got that feistiness, that physical play. He also is good around the net, and he's a guy to watch. So, yeah, I mean, both teams are well coached, and well-coached teams usually have good special teams, and both these teams fit in that.
As both teams prepare and take the ice, let's now welcome in Matt Sukram, who is our play-by-play announcer for this afternoon. Welcome, Matt, and Happy New Year's Eve.
Hey, Happy New Year's Eve to you and Bob. Glad you guys could be along with us for this one, and glad that everyone listening in on the YouTube channel and on Facebook are taking the time to catch our broadcast, and we know that there's a lot of them out there because of the capacity limits. So we thank you for tuning in and spending some of your New Year's Eve with us.
Of course, Matt's been here since 2 o'clock expecting to see Oshawa, but we won't.
Always the last guy to know everything, right?
And, well, we're going to have the Anthem here in a moment. And I think it's just great that the two teams got together and give the fans here in North Bay an afternoon of hockey. Not everyone who wants to be here is here, but at least it's an OHL game here on New Year's Eve. Now our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, car ton brosse portile, il s'est porté la gloire, ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Well, it should be a good one this afternoon. The North Bay Battalion and the Ottawa 67s. Will Cranley gets the start in net for the 67s. Joe Bruvetic. If you haven't heard, Betty White passed away earlier today at the age of 99. And a lot of people know her as Golden Girls. Of course, if you're as old as me, it's the Mary Tyler Moore Show. So we're dedicating our broadcast to Betty White. And also Pete Campbell, longtime OHL broadcaster, passed away recently. Worked a few games with him with the Centennials back in the old days, doing games in Oshawa and Peterborough. So condolences to those impacted by those two deaths over the last few days. So it should be a good one this afternoon. North Bay starting their big line against Ottawa. And to call it, here's Matt Sukrin.
Thanks, Bob. As you guys touched on in the pre-game show, I think special teams is going to be a huge factor in this game. The Battalion trying to right the ship after their last couple of games are 0-3-2-0 in their last 5 played, while the Ottawa 67s are 0-5. But like I said, those special team numbers might be looming huge. 4th in the league on the power play are the Battalion. 15th in the league on the penalty kill are the Ottawa 67s. They're going to want to stay out of the box in this one. The players are ready. The officials look to be ready. And the puck is dropped. And we're going to end 2021 with some hockey. It's the Ottawa 67s in control off the draw. They send it down the ice into the North Bay zone. Ty Nelson, the first one back to it. He brings it down the left wing side up to Petrov. Petrov shovels it across to the far side boards for Winslow. Winslow dumps it in on the right wing side. It actually hits the top of the boards and goes over the glass and out of play. So 19 seconds in, and we have our first stoppage in play.
Well, looking across the bench, I don't see Dave Cameron, the Ottawa 67s coach, the coach of Canada's national junior team, of course, but not behind the bench this afternoon.
And he's the second consecutive Ottawa 67s coach to helm that team after Andre Tournier did it a couple of seasons ago. Play inside the North Bay zone. They clear the puck. Petrov has it going down the left wing into the attacking zone. Tries to feed it to the middle. That pass is picked off by Sawyer of the 67s. And he sends it across to the far side, but they can't clear. Coe keeps the puck in the middle to Petrov. Fires it wide of the net past Cranley's stick side. On the near side boards, there's a hit. Mathurin lost the puck. Good to see him back out on the ice for the first time in a couple of games. The puck is inside the Ottawa zone, held behind the net. Ottawa still holding it back there. That's Alec Belanger on it. He sends it down the left wing side. It's deflected off a stick into the Ottawa bench. And another stoppage in play here.
And the big thing, I think, having Mathurin and Christopoulos back is that's one pairing it really helps your defensive depth. They play together, so having one pairing back, really helpful for Ryan Houlihan.
Chasing the puck into the zone is Dewar of the 67s. He takes a whack at it, but it's blocked by Mathurin, and he heads down the ice. Stretch pass into the zone to the Captain Arnsby, who fires it, and it's wide of the net. It ricochets off the boards and comes back out to the neutral zone. Mathurin first to it, over to Christopoulos. Back to the near side of Mathurin, and a stretch pass down the ice. Tipped off the stick. No, check that. It missed the stick of Arnsby, so that will be icing called against the Battalion. About a minute 40 into this game, no score.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of whistles, in the early going here. Not a lot of steady play, but teams sort of trying to get used to the fact they're playing each other after not knowing they were until Wednesday night.
The Battalion coming off that 5-4 loss in Mississauga. The Ottawa 67s, their last game was a 5-2 loss to the Barrie Colts in Ottawa. And again, they're 0-5 in their last 5 coming into this one. Shot wide of the net in the North Bay zone. Bounced out to the blue line. Hard hit as Arnsby runs over Derek Smith at the line. Puck stays in the zone. It's in the corner. Back down to the point. Smith is there. He feeds it to the middle. Takes a couple of deflections. Goes to the side of the net. Centering pass deflected away by the Battalion. And it's sent out to the neutral zone. 2 minutes in. No score here in the first. The 67s have control of it in their own zone. Pass down the far side board. Sirazzotti gets knocked off the puck. Sima turns and fires it in the zone. Takes a bounce going towards the net, but cleared away by Constantini, who sends it out to the neutral zone. Picking it up quickly is Lukin. Feeds it back to the middle to Sima. Sima gets stopped at the red line, and now the 67s go the other way. Coming into the zone, late into the play was Gaydamack, and they're saying he goes offside on the play. So there's another stoppage in play, about 2.5 into this first period.
And the thing, Matt, I noticed is, the Ottawa's missed a few games because of COVID. Not their own case, just Kingston, for example, games that were scheduled. So that's the other thing. And just seeing the players out there with no crowd, they've come out aggressive. A lot of hits in the early going. So teams are ready to go despite not having big crowd support.
I think that's also maybe a factor of having your captain Liam Arnsby back in the lineup as well after he missed a couple of games. He definitely brings that kind of style, not only to his game, but as the captain, everybody else follows what he does.
Yeah, we saw that Wednesday night, too, in Mississauga.
3 minutes in, the Battalion trying to chip it deep into the zone. It comes to the middle. Russell has it. Shot. Save made off the blocker of Cranley. Back to the near side boards. Romani with it. Drops it to Russell, who skates in toward the goal line. Russell behind the net, now skating down the right wing side, going to the blue line, turns, leaves it for Winslow, who's coming in with speed, going down the right wing side, feeds it in front, loose puck, cleared back out to the slot, off the stick of Romani to the far side boards. It's down to the point. Across to the left side, Winslow walking in, shot in on net, and Cranley makes the save. Bob, Cranley looking for a big game here as he let in some really soft early goals in that game to Barrie, and he's looking to bounce back, and he makes a good glove save 3.5 into this one.
Every time I've seen Will Cranley, he's been pretty good, so I think he likes playing North Bay, but got a little physical after that whistle right in front of the net, so we could have some big battles in front of Cranley today.
Both teams playing one man short up front, going with 7D in this one, as Bob and Derek touched on in the pregame. Play back underway. It's picked up by Russell. Feeds it up ahead to Coe, coming in over the blue line. Coe across to the left side. Russell kicks it in the corner to Nelson. Down the point to Winslow. Winslow feeds it back along the far side boards. Now it's along the end boards for Russell. Russell tries to center it. That got blocked. And it's back out to the blue line. Tolnay has it for the 67s. He tries to dump it in. That got blocked. Stonehouse has it now. He sends it back behind his own blue line. And now it is controlled by Robinson back, I believe, behind the Ottawa blue line. And his pass attempt down the ice is not picked up by anybody. And so it's an icing call against the Ottawa 67s. 15:36 remaining in period number 1, and this period of Battalion Hockey is brought to you by Northern Wood Customs, available for all your wooden decor needs. Find them on Facebook and Instagram and tell them you heard this ad on the Battalion Game Day broadcast, and you can save 10% on your next order. That's Northern Wood Customs on Facebook and Instagram. Play underway as the Battalion control the puck in the Ottawa zone. Stick check made behind the net, and Ottawa clears. Out to the neutral zone, Curry has it. He lifts it back over the blue line, then takes a hit. It's corralled by Constantini of the 67s. Now turned over in front of the net. Hornsby was there but couldn't get a shot off. Into the far side boards. A couple of stick checks made. Curry has it, skating to the middle, backhanded towards the net. That's blocked by Ottawa, and coming out of the zone with it is Dewar. He dumps it into the North Bay zone, picked up by Bruvetic behind his net. He leaves it there for his defenseman, who sends it out of the zone, and it's now on the stick of Christopoulos coming over the blue line. Stretch pass across the zone to Curry. Curry can't control it, coming in too hot on that pass, and it's Ottawa who now has control in the near side corner of their own end. It's flipped up to the blue line and cleared. Simon Rose on the ice, tries to feed it ahead. That got blocked. Puck in the middle of the ice. It's Outwater who finds it, sends it up to Sema. Skating in on the left side. His shot is deflected away off the stick of Sawyer of the 67s, and now it's controlled in the far side corner by Ottawa. They now feed it up down the left wing side, but it's turned over. Podolou on the ice, going to the far side, sends it to the point. Rose can't hold it in the zone, and it's now being chased by Govro. He's got control of it, circles his own net, and sends it back down the other way. One-on-one into the zone, but it gets past everybody, and it's gloved by Cranley, and he'll hold on to it for stoppage and play.
Just want to give a special shout out to Mike Carosetto, who's listening on the YouTube broadcast. Just want to wish you and every other listener a Happy New Year, and thanks for tuning in.
6:03 gone in the game, and just Derek, a lot of chances, or not a lot of chances. Fairly slow start to this one.
Almost a repeat of what we saw the other night against Mississauga. A very lackluster first period, and that's what we've seen so far in this contest.
Playback underway. The 67s have control of it at the North Bay blue line, but Winslow on the back check gets the poke check in and has control of the puck. He skates to the far side boards, gets it out to the neutral zone, and now it's a pass up ahead to Russell coming in. Russell takes a snapshot, but that's blocked by Gilshane, and it's fed down the far side boards out to the neutral zone for Nelson, who controls it across to Winslow. The Battalion defender gets it up on the left wing side to Petrov. Petrov skates it up ahead to Nelson coming in. The shot just wide. Backhanded towards the netminder, who makes a glove save. Two quick ones there coming at Cranley, and he does not let either of them get by him.
What do you love about Ty Nelson is takes a shot on goal, scoring chance. That's stopped, gets the rebound, puts it in front of the net. This is seeing if Cranley's awake, Derek, and he just missed it, went wide, but Nelson loves to just poke the bear a little early in the game, right?
Yeah, he's leading the defense in both shots and points.
Playback underway. 6:50 gone. It's out to the neutral zone, and it is controlled by Will Gerrois of the 67s, who sends it into the North Bay zone off the end boards, now picked up by the Battalion. Long pass out of the zone. The Battalion have some room, but now Romani gets hit hard on the boards. A couple of checks made, and the puck comes away from that area. It's going the other way now. Jack Dever with it. He dumps it down the ice. Picked up by Simon Rose behind the Battalion net. Fed up to Tatarenko, who feeds it out to the neutral zone. A little miscommunication. The Battalion find it and dump it in quickly, but they had numbers going the other way. However, the Ottawa 67s get on the end of that dump in, and it's Pinelli who carries it down into the North Bay zone. He's checked off the puck, and the Battalion go the other way. Arnsby to Van Steensel coming in towards the net. He goes behind the net, circles down the right side, sends it to a wide open Mathurin, but he couldn't connect on the pass, and he kicks it in the corner. That's where Arnsby picks it up. Arnsby sends it to the far side boards. Christopoulos is there and wires it wide. Down the line, Mathurin can't keep it in. It's Laforme going the other way. Laforme to the middle. He gets knocked off the puck by Josh Curry. Curry sends it into the near side corner, and now he works down his left wing boards, drops it back to Mathurin, who skates down the middle, sends it wide off the net, wide of the net, and it's off the end boards, controlled by the 67s. and it's Gilshane who dumps it out of the zone. 11:30 to go in the first period. Still no score between the Battalion and the 67s. North Bay trying to work it out of their zone. It's on the far side boards. Couple of hard stick checks being made in that area. It goes down to the point, controlled by the 67. Shot comes in, deflected wide, rebound chance. Comes down to Gilshane at the right side circle. Plays it to the middle, now back to the point. It's controlled there by Mayich. His shot on net is gloved down by Bruvetic, and that's his first save of the game. 11:07 remaining in the first.
You talked to Derek did in the pregame about Van Steensel, and he's a guy that I think they need production from that second line, Arnsby's line, and Van Steensel's a guy, he's got a lot of energy, just like Josh Curry, who's also on that line. So, you know, they're looking for energy from that line, both with their skating and their hitting as well as their shooting on goal.
11 minutes to go now as the Battalion clear the puck quickly. They've got it inside the Ottawa zone. Coe around behind the net, down into the left side corner. A couple of hard checks there. The puck ends up back behind the net, and the 67's looking to clear. It's at the point. Shot comes in. Save made by Will Cranley. The Ottawa 67's goaltender had to be quick on that shot by Nelson. In the neutral zone, it's Russell who has it now for the Battalion. Feeds it down the right wing boards for Petrov. Petrov crossover pass to Coe. Wide open shot, scores! Open the curtains and give the people what they want. The Brandon Coe Show starts now.
Yes, the Coe Show was in Mississauga on Wednesday and got a couple of points, and the Coe Show is here on New Year's Eve, and North Bay draws first blood, Derek.
Great opportunity there. I think the best thing that happened there was Brandon Coe didn't receive that pass cleanly. It allowed Will Cranley to little overslide, open up that glove hand side a little more than what Brandon Coe originally had, and Coe making no mistake putting it in for his 20th of the season.
Well, as advertised, was leading the cliche category, but the Coe Show's slowly catching up, Matt.
Whatever sticks, right?
And he's worth it for sure.
So almost halfway through the first period, it is 1-0 now for the Battalion, out shooting the 67s 7-1 in that category. Ottawa with control of the puck. Dever with it. Tries to feed it down the near side boards. That got blocked by Van Steensel, and it's pushed back into the Ottawa zone. Boucher in front of his own net turns it over, but then it's quickly steered away by the back-checking Ottawa 67s group. Back into the North Bay zone. And the play is blown down. Offside the call here, I believe. Again, check that. It's a penalty coming up against Lucan of the North Bay Battalion. So with 9:45, we've reached our mid-period break, but the Battalion are going to be on the penalty kill when play resumes. Bob.
Yeah, first period, so far so good for North Bay. Brandon Coe, what a story he's been. We knew he would have the stats. We knew he'd have the points. I think that was a given after playing last year, unlike so many of his teammates. But it's his leadership off the ice, which has been the big story with the Battalion. But right now, a big challenge, Derek, with Lucan in the box.
Yeah, it's going to be a penalty kill opportunity for the North Bay Battalion to try and keep that momentum going, as Lucan's going to serve 2 minutes. They're currently the 9th ranked team on the penalty kill, but on the other side, Ottawa's ranked 15th on the power play. And coming up in the first intermission, we're going to catch a little tidbit of the Frontline podcast, which featured Nick Moran, better known as Yogi, as Courtney Kenny and myself sat down with him earlier this week to discuss his role with the North Bay Battalion.
Well, you must really be working hard if Courtney lets you co-host a podcast episode. I guess Derek's improving as we move along. And, of course, Courtney was in front of us while the action was going on, right? And he almost obscured our view. Fortunately, Coe scored after he left the area.
So play underway as the Battalion are on the penalty kill. They block a shot from the blue line, and they clear it down the ice. As we said, special teams could play a big factor in this game. The Battalion coming in with the 9th ranked penalty kill. Ottawa has struggled to score on the power play as well as on 5-on-5. That's been an area that Dave Cameron would like to see improved as the head coach of the 67s. Back into the North Bay zone. Pinelli has it. To the point, Belanger. To the left side, that's Tolnay. Tolnay shot on net, blocked in front, and now the play is blown dead.
Did you see the sequence there, Matt? And I think with few fans in the building, you start to notice little things. Like Ottawa player went back, and he was thinking icing. Of course, there was a penalty. So sometimes, Derek, the focus isn't there with a lot less fans.
Yeah, sometimes you just get a little less commotion going on. You're not really paying attention to what's on the ice.
8:50 to play. The 67s win the faceoff. It's at the point. Now to the right side circle. Pass to the middle. The shot save made. Not sure if it completely got through. There's a lot of traffic in front. And it's cleared quickly by the Battalion penalty kill unit. 40 seconds remaining on this first power play of the game for the 67s. And that is going to get called. Icing the call against the 67s. 8:23 to go in the first period. North Bay up 1-0, and they've got 38 seconds to kill here on this penalty.
Yeah, the Ottawa power play unit at times looking a little, just a little messed up here as they've coughed up the puck a couple of times, and that one resulting in an icing. So not what you want to do when you have one more guy out there.
Sent in front of the North Bay net. Save made. The puck comes right back out in front, and Constantini can't bury it. His shot goes wide. Another pass out in front. It goes to the line. It's kept in the zone. Shot comes in. Save made off the mask of Bruvetic. The Battalion find the puck, and they clear it down the ice. 7:50 to play in period number 1. North Bay up 1-0, and Lucan is about to rejoin his team on the ice. We're back to 5-on-5, and as soon as Lucan steps out of the box, he runs into Sirizati. It was inadvertent contact there, but might as well make your presence felt as soon as you go back out there. Play inside the North Bay zone on the far side boards. They send it up the right wing, and it clears the blue line. Mathurin has it up to the Ottawa blue line, off the stick of Podolou, and now it's Ottawa going the other way. Sirizati comes in the zone. Hard shot in. Save made by Bruvetic. Stoppage in play with 7:12 to go in the first period. 1-0 North Bay.
Just a special shout out to Lee Rose and his wife and all of the Simon Rose's grandparents, aunt and uncles, cousins that are tuning in from Ottawa. We wish you a happy New Year's, and remember, please stay safe, everyone. Enjoy the rest of this game.
Yes, the year ends at midnight, and a new one comes upon us, 2022.
There's a shot from Giroux. The save made by Bruvetic. Kicks it out to the near side circle, and Curry sends it out to the neutral zone. Hard hit on the boards. Giroux running Curry into the boards right in front of the penalty box, and the puck goes ricocheting back into the North Bay zone. North Bay looking to clear it. They do, but off a skate. It's a loose puck, and Dever gets hit by Govro. So making his presence felt here as he's in the lineup. Scored his first career OHL goal in that game on Wednesday against Mississauga. Here come the Battalion toward the Ottawa net in the corner now. Curry's there, looking to center it. It goes off a skate, picked up by Gilshane. He tries to clear. The puck bouncing past Govro, and it's out to the neutral zone. Van Steensel has it in the neutral zone. He finds Armsby, who flips it towards the net, and that line changes. 6:15 to play in the first. 1-0 North Bay lead as Ottawa still controls it deep inside their own zone. The puck gets flipped up off the glass on the near side, now controlled by North Bay. In the middle of the He sends it to the right side. Russell's there, working around behind the net. Fights Petrov on the left side circle. His shot goes wide. Rebound off the right side boards. It's Nelson there. Flips it around to the near side to Russell. Down the point to Petrov. Back to the half boards to Russell. Holding it on the boards now as Gilshane comes in to try and get the puck away from him. kick to the middle of the zone. It's picked up by Ottawa and cleared down the ice. Sarazotti chasing it. That will negate icing as he's the first one to it. He goes to the far side boards. Now centers it. Stonehouse's shot is blocked by Bruvetic. Picked up on the near side by Nelson. Cleared to the middle. That's blocked by the Ottawa 67s. They come back in. Shot save made by Bruvetic. At the far side boards, it's Coe who has it for North Bay. He clears the zone off a skate. It goes down into the Ottawa zone. That's Pinelli there. He feeds it down the left side boards to Stonehouse. His shot from behind the blue line is right on Bruvetic. He couldn't find it, but then he sees it on the blue paint just before Stonehouse could come in and dig away at it. 5:06 to go in period number 1. North Bay up 1-0.
That was like Matt Sukram fielding that ground ball, playing shortstop, and he knew
I
the
have
ball
no
was,
idea where it was,
yeah,
Coach.
knew the ball was there, couldn't find it. Fortunately, he found it in time, had a couple extra seconds, but that was a scary call, Derek, for the Battalion.
And I was just thinking to myself how Joe Bruvetic has looked so calm and being able to focus and follow that puck. There was a few saves there he made that were just unbelievable.
And off the draw, the 67 score. So after an unbelievable save by Bruvetic, he can't reset, and the 67s get the goal. Stonehouse gets the credit for that one. It's going to be his 7th of the season.
Well, we talked about Stonehouse in the pregame show. He gets big goals, and that's a big one for sure. Ottawa tying up the game, and I don't know if Bruvetic was screened or not, Derek, but there were a couple of bodies in front, but he never saw that. So he never saw it, Matt, and whether he was deflected or he just missed it, I'm not sure.
And for Bruvetic, as you mentioned in the pregame, Bob, the last time he was in net here was that wild 7-6 game against the Niagara Ice Dogs, and you know he let in a few that he would have liked to have back in that game, and certainly would have liked to have that one back. Ottawa's now up to 8 shots on net, mostly because of that flurry in the a couple of sequences prior to that goal. So with 4.5 to play in the first, it's 1-1 between North Bay and Ottawa. Both teams trying to end a 5-game losing streak tonight and start 2022 off on the right foot. Play inside the neutral zone. Gerrois held on the boards by Portaloo. It's kicked ahead into the Ottawa zone. Sent around to the far side, and Stonehouse is able to clear it. Tolnay down the right wing side for Gardiner. Dumped into the North Bay zone and played quickly to the far side. Rose takes a hit, but shields the puck. Kicks it down the half boards. That's Gardiner there. He sends it back along the end boards. It's picked up by Govro of the Battalion. Sent it in the corner. Sends it up to the Rose. Rose down the right side, can't clear. Kept in at the line by Ottawa. Into the corner, Rose is there again, trying to clear the puck. He finds a stick of Outwater. He gets it up to Portaloo, and Portaloo coming down the right wing side, over the blue line into the attacking zone. Portaloo behind the net, now goes down the left wing, plays it to Govro. Govro shot, deflected off a skate in front, picked up by Constantini, and cleared. It's Gardiner carrying it out, sending it into the North Bay zone. Behind the net, that's Russell. He skates to the near side boards. Now he's pressured on the forecheck. It's sent across to the far side for Rose. Rose down the right side. Pass up ahead to Russell. Russell Petrov all alone, and he can't bury it. Save made by Cranley. And a stoppage in play as he hangs on to it. 3 minutes to go in the first. 1-1 the score.
Yeah, great 2-on-1 there, Derek, and great save by Cranley.
It was a great job trying to get that shot off. Just wanted an update on the Ottawa 67's goal. It was Gavin Ools credited with the goal in his first game with the Ottawa 67s, as he is a call-up from the Pembroke Lumber Kings, a defenseman with the Lumber Kings, just making the trip with the Ottawa 67s today for the game.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of guys get called up right away, and sort of like what we're seeing in the NHL, Matt, with the taxi squads.
Playback underway, Ottawa going to the net. Sawyer pushed away from the slot, and the puck is knocked off his stick and is carried out of the zone by Russell. He goes down the ice over the blue line, far side pass to Nelson. Nelson tries to play behind the net. It's off his skate. Now it's picked up by Coe. Coe centers it to Russell, and his shot is off the post. Now Coe has it. He skates to the middle of the zone. feeds it into the right side corner for Nelson. Nelson looking to center it, gets past everybody's stick and stopped at the line by Winslow. He feeds it down the half boards to Petrov, who tries to play in the corner, blocked by Gilshane. Now Gilshane has some support in the corner, and the 67s feed it down the half boards, but it's not out of the zone. Kept in to the far side boards, it's Nelson. Nelson just takes a whack at it to play it into the far side corner, and that is where Ottawa picks it up and sends it around to the near side. It's Pinelli there. He gets it up to the line, not clear, a couple of stick checks, and now he gets away. Sent towards the goaltender Bruvetic from the red line. He plays it out quickly to Christopoulos, sending it down the left wing side for Van Steensel. Walking in, Van Steensel into the attacking zone, he goes to the corner. Van Steensel still in that corner. A lot of pressure on the youngster there. Van Steensel tries to play behind the net, knocked off the puck, and it is cleared out of the zone by Giroir. Giroir lost it at the North Bay line. Christopoulos going the other way. The Battalion defenseman takes a shot, and it ricocheted off the boards. It comes to the near side point to Arnsby. Arnsby tries to play it on net. That got blocked in the neutral zone. Christopoulos again for North Bay tries to play it forward. His shot got blocked. Off a skate off the near side boards. Mathurin going in. His attempt gets blocked, and it's sent the other way. It's Gatomac going in. He takes a shot. It goes off the side of the net on for Bruvetic. Ricochet back into the corner. North Bay tries to get it out of that area. Blocked on the half boards by Gardner. He goes back into the corner. Gatomac is there trying to help him out. Centering pass. Gilshane can't hold it at the line. There's a foot race to it. And Podolou loses that foot race as Gilshane comes back in the zone for Ottawa. Gilshane shot from the sharp angle is off of Christopoulos' stick. It goes over the boards and out of play. 45 seconds remaining in the first. It's 1-1.
You know, Derek, how sometimes the goalpost finds you and sometimes you find the goalpost? That was that Brandon Coe chance. He found the goalpost. There was a lot of empty net there.
Unfortunately for Brandon Coe, ringing it off of the goalpost. Maybe ringing in the new year a little too early.
Very nice.
Playback underway with 35 seconds to go. The Battalion clear the zone. Ottawa out water. Getting it past the Ottawa defender, up ahead to Podolou. Podolou's shot is stopped by Cranley. It goes to the far side board, Stonehouse. He can't clear. It's back in the far side corner. Podolou for North Bay finds Sema, who skates behind the net. He tries to center it. That got blocked, and it's Stonehouse who carries it out of the zone. He tries to dump it in. It's off a skate. Now it's Tolnay going right towards the net. Nice poke check made by Lukin to not let Tolnay get a shot, but he gets it out of the corner. Skates back in front of the net, and another good poke check made by the Battalion defenders to get it out of the zone. And that is where period number 1 will come to an end. 9 shots to 8 in favor of North Bay. 1-1 the score after 20 minutes of play.
Ottawa getting a big lift from tying the game, Derek, and both teams skating pretty good right now. So the game's starting to open up here at the end of the period. Tied at 1.
Let's take a quick rundown of the scoring summary. Brandon Coe with his 20th of the season, opening things up at 9:33. Petrov and Russell with the assist on the Coe goal before Gavin Ools with his first of the season, first of his OHL career, tying things up at 14:58. Belanger and Sawyer picking up the assists on the Ools goal. 1 penalty in the first period. Alexander Lukin went off for high sticking at 10:15. Shots in the period favored the North Bay Battalion by a total of 10-8. Face-offs had the Ottawa 67s with a 1 face-off advantage, 10-9 in that category. Taking a look around the OHL, as there's only one other game scheduled to play today, and that's a 7:07 start in Sudbury as the Wolves will entertain the Mississauga Steelheads. Just really the news, Bob, is all of the postponed games, and you know what? It's really hard to talk about knowing how much this means to these young kids.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, what happened with the World Juniors, not being able to see some of those key games. The Canada-Finland game, I was looking forward to that. Both the American games that we didn't see against Russia and Sweden, and of course, the big matchup, right? That everyone is expecting with Canada against Russia. Mason McTavish was playing out of this world for Canada in the first couple games. Yeah, and you feel for the kids. Hopefully there'll be a way to schedule this event in the summer so that these kids can play. Most of the kids that play in this event don't get to come back a second year or third year. That's it for them. They'll never play the World Juniors, and that's unfortunate.
Unfortunately for that, it's that group there, in the 2020 season, 2021, just not going through with the World Juniors. Earlier this week, Courtney Kenny and myself, Derek Lindemann, sat down with Nick Moran and discussed hockey operations in the North Bay Battalion organization. And let's catch a little tidbit of that podcast now.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to hit the ground running here, coming off the break. You got Mississauga at the time of this recording, Mississauga tomorrow, and then a home and home against Oshawa. So, and you go on the road with them, just kind of give, the people at home that, like, we know kind of we know the tip of the iceberg of what you do with the battalion, but there's so much more. Give the people at home that might not even know the tip of the iceberg about what you do, what your job is with the troops.
I mean, it includes a lot of different things. But yeah, the travel is definitely the largest component of it for sure. Planning the trips and making sure we have hotels, meals, and tickets for the parents and players, and all the stuff that goes into it that some people might not even know the procedure or like exactly how it works. And there is quite a bit of stuff that goes on, and especially now with COVID, it's every day is you never know what you're gonna what's gonna come up. You just kind of have to be ready for it, and just kind of go with the flow and not worry about it too much.
So what time's your shift going to start tomorrow as you get prepared for Mississauga?
I'll be there at 9 and like a normal work day until noon, and then we take the bus, and then I'll be back home. I don't know, I guess it'll be I do math here, about 1 a.m. or so. So it'll be a long day, but that's part of the business. I mean, do it because you love it, right? Like, that's why we all do what we do. So we love the sport, and we love the guys and just everything about it. Road trips are, they can be long sometimes, and they can be, they suck when you lose. How about that? But if you win, hey, the time flies by. You have other ways. You got TV, and that's just part of the job and the experience, and the whole thing is, when you sign up to be a hockey player or even an employee. So
with what would be, so that's on the road. What's your normal work hours on a home game day?
It's much better. I would start at 9 typically, still, like on a Thursday, let's say, start at 9, and then in the afternoon I'll leave for a couple hours, have lunch, just relax, just have lunch and whatnot, and get ready, but get dressed, whatnot, like that. But so yeah, it'd be, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours depending on the day. Like I said, especially with COVID, you never know what's going to happen, so you're just kind of sitting by the phone still anyways, in case something comes up and something needs to be done. And luckily I'm obviously pretty close to the rink, so it's a quick jaunt over and get to whatever needs to be done. So it's obviously, it's still a long day, but it's nice to go home at a decent time and be able to just sleep in your own bed and stuff like that. So other than that, it's good. Yeah.
So during those games, how much time do you get to actually watch the hockey games?
It all really depends. Like, so basically my job during the game is to watch the game, which is the nice part, which is enjoyable, right? So during the game, I clip video. Basically how that works is you take it from the broadcast, like Cogeco for us or wherever it may be, the home broadcast. They would give me a signal, and then I would click keys. It could be face-off, shots, so on and so forth. We track of quite a few things, and every time I click those keys, it will take like a 7 to 10 seconds, depending on what I set the settings to. But it'll take little clips, and that way the coaches can review them in between periods or at the end of the game, whatever they need to do, to figure out this face off, are they doing a set play, or, there's so many different little things that, sometimes even the average fan might not even notice, but those coaches, they want to see it and they want to make sure that we don't get burned on it. And, or maybe we did get scored on it and want to find out why. And we fix that right then and there so it doesn't happen again that game. Right. So I don't know, I would say it's a pretty important job. Obviously, like I said, like coaches need that information as soon as possible. So I'm always watching the game and trying to make sure I can catch any of those things too. That, might not be a typical hockey play, but you're just trying to clip it and make sure that, someone's out of position. Might not have cost us, but we still need to make sure it doesn't cost us in the future either. So there's a lot of different things to go with it.
So you're essentially the troops' eye in the sky. So, well, I mean, you're not in the sky, but you have a different vantage point on the rink than Uli would or something.
For sure, yeah, definitely. Like I was sometimes as a coach, I couldn't even imagine how much they get lost in the, player talking to you, or you're talking to a player, or something's going on. I get a good view because I can see it, but the bench is cut off from that angle, or it's behind the play, right? Like all that kind of stuff. Like obviously having that view of up in the press box, usually I can see almost everything. Even the cameras don't catch it sometimes, right? I'm sure you guys know that.
Yep.
Cameras are pointing at the play and something happening somewhere else, right? So just all those little things, and that way they can, obviously pick my brain and ask me what they, if I seen anything or what it may, like what tripping call, like should have been a tripping call, kind of thing like that. So I can also send those clips down to the bench. We have like an iPad that I can send clips to them so they can actually check out some clips right on the bench during the game. So usually use that for like goaltender interference and stuff like that. Just if they want to review it. But
thanks to Nick Moran joining Courtney Kenny and myself on the Frontline podcast. You can download the Front Podcast on Spotify Podcast, Google Podcast, or Apple Podcast, wherever you find your favorite podcast. Go find the Frontline Podcast. Give them a like. Most episodes download every Wednesday, if possible, if Courtney Kenny has reliable internet. But you know what? It's one of the best podcasts out there. Give them a listen, and you'll learn more about the North Bay Battalion, as you just did there with what Nick Moran does for this team. I thought he just sat up here and watched hockey, Bob.
Yeah, I thought he was just up here looking pretty, but no, but it is interesting that they can send video from the feed that the game is on television, but they also can point out stuff that's going away from the play that maybe TV didn't capture to the bench, to the coaches, could be a goaltender interference call or how a goalie's playing or whatever, and it really shows the battalion are on top of things upstairs in the press box here and down on the ice as well.
Well, that's the way the hockey is kind of gone these days. Is the analytics, the video footage. It's added so much to the game, other than just watching it and trying to keep an eye on what's going on from a coaching standpoint. I remember back in the 90s when Bert Templeton used to sit up top and give direction to the coaching staff via headphones, and that was groundbreaking. Did you ever imagine that hockey would get to this point to actually just see live video down on the bench while you're playing?
Well, no, I don't think, back then nobody did, but and it's a totally different game upstairs. You ask a football coach who's the coordinator, and he does the game up in the calls the plays. The offensive coordinator calls the plays up in the booth, and then he goes down on the field, and it's a totally different game. There's so much you don't see down on the field, and I imagine it's the same on the ice too. There's so much you don't see because of the angle, because of the proximity the benches to the ice. But if you get that sky view, basically, you can see how lines are going. You can see how players are finding each other, the physical part of the game, the goaltending. So, yeah, it's definitely an improvement. And when the players look on the tablets, and the coach gets to show the player the mistake he made rather than just yelling in his ear makes a big difference.
Yeah, just sitting from up here and looking down at the two benches as there's no players, we can actually see Ottawa has two iPads on their bench. North Bay has the one that is turned on that we can see in the dark, but it's just the way the game has gone. And that was one of the questions I asked Nick was, is there any player that just wants that immediate feedback to watch a shift when he gets off the ice? And unfortunately, they don't have that level of capability as of yet, but you do see it in the NHL where players will get to watch shifts as soon as they get right back to the bench and decide and figure out what they did wrong.
Yeah, a Tampa guy will go, okay, it'll be two teammates talking to each other, and they'll go, you go here, I'll be here, you didn't go here, you went over there, so if you go here, I'll get you the puck. So, it's different.
No, I thought they were just playing NHL 22 on the bench.
Possibly they could have been doing that too.
Designing plays, but let's get back to the action. It just didn't feel like I know due to the lack of audience that the crowd isn't into it, but it seems so lackluster without those oohs and ahs from the crowd and the go troops go chants, and just it doesn't feel the same when you don't have a full capacity in this building.
Yeah, and we saw some signs of that, players going back to play the puck and just not. I mean, I think you have to focus more. You have to concentrate even more than you normally would, because there's no crowd that's going to go icing or whatever, a penalty, or you're not going to have that screaming, that yelling, that if you're a road team being booed, that sort of thing, and the home crowd getting excited. So I think you have to focus even more. But I think that started to change in the second half of the period. More chances, more speed being used at both ends. Goaltenders, I think, Cranley's a bit sharper than Bruvetic so far, and I think North Bay's going to have to pick up their goaltending game here in the second period, because Cranley looks like he's going to be tough to score on a lot today. Coe did have a goal post, and he scored the goal. So, but there was the Ottawa goal. I'm not sure if Bruvetic was screened or he just didn't see it, but regardless, and I think Tolnay is going to be a big factor for Ottawa in this game. He's so good with the puck.
Yeah, I kind of thought Joe Bruvetic was playing well going up into that power play. Only 2 shots they had up until the power play, so it was 7-2 in the shots at the halfway mark. I thought he was tracking the puck well through the crowd, but then just a couple of incidences just before that goal where his focus just didn't seem to be there. That long icing play where he fumbled the puck in his feet, and we made the comment about Matt Sukram losing the ball at shortstop. Then the goal through the crowd, it just kind of looked like he lost his focus. He's going to have to find a way to refocus to get back into the second period.
Yeah, it's and the other thing, Derek, we should talk about is usually after the break, the games are a little more sloppy. They're a little more wide open. We saw some of that Wednesday night in Mississauga. They're not in tune to the defensive parts of the game, which coaches really harp on. And so that's part of it too. This is only their second game since the Christmas break. So that's part of the what teams deal with in the second half of the season. You want to get as many games in as you can early so that you're really in tune defensively for those key games down the stretch.
Exactly that, Bob. Now, both teams are back on the ice, so let's welcome back Matt Sukram for the call of the second period. Matt, welcome back.
And as I stop stepping on my microphone, there we go. Thanks for having me back. Getting set for period number 2. 1-1 the score. The Battalion opening the scoring thanks to Brandon Coe with his 20th goal of the season. Second straight year now that Brandon Coe has scored at least 20 goals. He had 25 a season ago in that COVID-shortened year.
And he's tied for the league lead in assists, and he leads the league in points. And he's tied for third in goals. So definitely a run at MVP this year for Brandon Coe.
It's his overage season. Making the most of it is the San Jose Sharks prospect. Of course, getting signed by the San Jose Sharks, exactly what you want in your final year in the OHL, knowing that you've got somewhere to go when it's all said and done in your OHL career. So 9 seconds in, and face-off coming up to the stick side of Joe Bruvetic in the North Bay zone. Taking a long time to drop the puck here.
And you can really, in those sequences, Matt, there's fewer people in the building, that really comes across, isn't it?
Russell got waved out, so Coe came in, couldn't win this face-off as the 67s get back to the blue line. Shot comes in from Sawyer, and it's a glove save made by Joe Bruvetic, so we'll do it all over again.
And Matt, due to the restrictions, the next 2 home games are already sold out. Season ticket holders obviously get their tickets, and they have to cut off the game only tickets. So that's important for people to know that tickets are sold out for the next 2 home games.
30 seconds in, puck inside the North Bay zone as the Battalion try to get it out. It's in the far side corner as Petrov lifts it over the blue line, gets stuck at the boards, and now he has to play it back to Nelson, who fires it back across to Winslow. Winslow up the middle for Russell, who chips it up to the blue line, and very quickly Sawyer of the 67s fires it right back into the zone. 50 seconds in, North Bay looking for an outlet to get out of the zone. It's Nelson down the middle. He dumps it in wide of the net, picked up quickly by Constantini, who sends it back down the ice. Giroux gets hit on the boards, and the Battalion try to go forward. Curry's pass is blocked. Now at the line, another hit is made. And that's going to result in an offside here against the 67s.
And Derek, familiar start here to the second, a few whistles.
Yeah, a little bit of a slow start again to the second period. Not really allowing either team to get any momentum here early on.
A minute 10 in, and the clock is not moving. The clock is not moving. 1-1 the score. Here in the second, the clock is still now.
Clock's moving.
We've got it going again.
I think they heard you.
As the puck comes out of the zone, down the ice, Giroux dumping it into the North Bay zone. As he comes over the line, we're going to get a high stick call coming up against Liam Arnsby, and he's heading to the box. So for the second time, the North Bay Battalion are going to be shorthanded here in this game.
And Matt is our play-by-play voice on the game day broadcast. He's also one of the OHL officials today.
I think they heard him right down in the penalty box.
They all turned around and said, "Okay, we got it." That was funny.
Well, you never know, because if a goal got scored, you got to figure out, okay, well, how many seconds we're actually taking off the clock. And also, these teams are playing shorthanded. I don't want to have to play more hockey than they have to. Just looking out for these kids, Playback underway. Tolnay across the zone. Shot made, and it's a save by Bruvetic. 18-17 remaining in the second. 1-1 the score.
I always wonder how guys have a sense of where to, not only if to make the pass, but where to make the pass. And Tolnay's that type of player. He knew the guy on the ice who had the most room to get it to him. And that's what makes great playmakers, Derek.
Especially on the power play. You want to know where you're going with that puck before you even get it.
And another stoppage in play as Bruvetic makes a quick save off the face-off. So there will be 1:37 remaining on this second power play of the game for the Ottawa 67s. Ottawa on the power play as the visiting team are clicking at 14.8%, 8 for 54 on the power play.
Tolnay, a forward, is playing the points. So 4 forwards here on Ottawa's power play.
Drops it to the line off the draw, controlled by Boucher. He plays it to the right side boards for Pinelli. Back to Boucher at the line. Back to Pinelli in the right side circle. Back down to Boucher. Across to the left side, Tolnay. Back to Boucher. One-timer. It's deflected off his skate. It goes to the near side boards. Tolnay has it. Feeds it in front. Save made by Joe Bruvetic. That was a big shot by Gaidamak, the Ottawa 67's leading scorer, but he couldn't add to his totals there. 1:15 remaining on the power play.
Sorry, Matt. Bruvetic saw that one all the way, Derek, and the battalion did a good job of clearing things in front.
That's going to be a key, especially on these power plays. Keep guys out of the line of sight for Joe Bruvetic. You know what? A goaltender of his caliber should be able to see or stop everything he sees coming his way.
The 67s win the draw. They play it back to the line now, feeding it down the left side boards. Constantini's there. It gets knocked off his stick, and North Bay are able to... No, they're saying they never cross the blue line as it hit off the body of Thomas Sermon. And so it kept the puck in the zone briefly before sending it back into the North Bay zone and then cleared quickly by the battalion. So Ottawa regroup from their own end, and they send it right back into the North Bay end. It's played off the corner and actually hits the netting in that corner. So we'll have a stoppage of play. 17-19 remaining in the second period. 1-1 the score. 43 seconds remaining on the Ottawa power play.
Yeah, battalion taking their time getting back out there and done a good job killing this penalty so far, but had a few whistles.
And it's Russell skating slowly to the circle. And that time he wins the draw to Van Steensel, who clears it quickly out of the zone. So while the puck has been inside the North Bay zone for most of this power play, they really haven't generated a whole lot of quality chances. Stonehouse looking to change that as he comes in the zone. He gets knocked off the puck. It goes behind the net. And another call coming up here. It's going to be high sticking, and I believe it's going against Stonehouse of the Ottawa 67s as he's being led away from a big pack of players that set themselves up behind the net. So Stonehouse going in the box, and with 21 seconds remaining in the Ottawa power play, the battalion will go on the power play once that 21 seconds expires, and that power play is brought to you by Noah Strong. Noah Strong is teamed up with the North Bay Regional Health Center to provide comfort packs to families in need this holiday season. Head to noahstrong.ca for more details.
And that was just careless by Stonehouse. That's a penalty you really didn't have to take. High stick and Christopoulos there, Derek.
Out to the neutral zone, stick check made. Coe picks it up, gets into the attacking zone. He finds Winslow on the far side. Winslow comes in, and his shot is wide of the net. It's off the boards to the near side to Nelson. He tries to play it in the corner. That got blocked by Sawyer of the 67s, and he clears the zone. Winslow has it for North Bay. He comes back in on the left wing side. Stopped at the line. Arnsby is out of the box. North Bay on the power play. Arnsby throws a hit, and he gets the puck, but now he lost the puck on the pass. Gets it back. Finds Russell on the far side, who gets it over the blue line. He finds Nelson in the middle. Big slap shot, but Cranley sees it all the way, and he holds on to it for a stoppage in play.
And there's Nelson again. Didn't waste any time. Got the shot on goal, but Cranley was out of past the blue, Derek, to make that save, as he saw that he saw the battalion telegraphing that one a bit.
That's the same as what I said about Joe Bruvetic. Cranley reads that play, able to telescope well outside of that blue paint to cut down that angle on the hard Nelson shot.
North Bay win the draw, and it's Nelson at the line. Feeds it in the corner. Now back to Nelson at the line. Across to the right side, Coe. Coe backhand pass to Nelson to the left side. Petrov was winding up, and then it skipped off his stick. He gets it back off the board, skates to the blue line, now goes to the right side, sends it in front, deflected, and it almost went in. It's into the corner now, picked up by the captain Arnsby, feeds it to Coe at the line. He gets checked off the puck, and it's cleared out of the zone. Nelson gets it back quickly, fed up ahead to Coe on the right side. Coe to the middle to Nelson. Nelson pass across the zone, that got blocked, and now Ottawa go the other way. It's Sermon coming down the left wing side, skates to the middle, he's in the clear, the shot, he scores! Short-handed goal for the Ottawa 67s. They take a 2-1 lead.
Well, I think Sermon's going to remember that goal for a long time. Made a great move just inside the battalion line, Derek, and then beats Bruvetic. That's a huge goal for Ottawa, short-handed, gives them the lead, and that's one they'll be replaying in the Sermon household for a while.
And for Sermon, that's his first of this season, and the celebration, I don't know if that was a dive or if he tripped, but that's one of the disadvantages of going with one defenseman. As Ty Nelson got caught up way up front, the only guy back was Matvei Petrov, and Sermon made no mistake toe dragging around him before tucking it past Joe Bruvetic here.
Yeah, Petrov was the only guy coming in on the back check, got beat on that move, as you said, Derek, on that toe drag, and then he was just out of position, couldn't recover. So the Battalion now down 2-1 with 4:45 gone in the second period. They've got 15 seconds remaining on their power play, and it's into the Ottawa zone. But a couple of North Bay players fall in the corner, and that's going to allow Ottawa to just corral the puck. Now it's sent to the point. Winslow has it for North Bay. He finds Curry. Curry skating to the blue line. Sends it to Rose, who's down low in the zone. Rose skates back up high. Feeds it to Winslow. Winslow's shot goes wide of the net. Played off the end boards. We're back to 5-on-5 play. It's in the corner. That's Romani there. He feeds it behind the net to Outwater. He gets knocked off the puck by Sawyer, but the puck goes in the corner. Curry trying to hold it there. He gets knocked off the puck, and it is Lucas Pinelli carrying it out of the zone. He finds Stonehouse over the blue line. Back up ahead to Pinelli. He gets knocked off the puck by Rose, who goes the other way. Rose down the left wing side, and they go offside. So with 5:38 gone in the second period, it's 2-1 for the 67s.
Is it me, or with fewer fans, you don't hear the whistles as much, Derek, for some reason? I don't know.
It's weird. You think you'd hear more, but just the confusion, and maybe it is, but just not paying attention, I guess.
North Bay win the draw, and they send it into the Ottawa zone. It's down to the point to Mathurin. He sends it towards the net, takes a couple of bounces, goes into the near side corner. It's off the boards, picked up by Gerrois, and it's cleared down the ice. Coming in, the shot, that's wide. Blocker side on Bruvetic. It's into the near side corner. Off the end boards, picked up by Arnsby. He tries to feed it to the half boards to Christopoulos. He gets knocked off the puck, but Arnsby comes in to help him out. Arnsby sends it back to the half boards, and Christopoulos lifts it up high and sends it down the ice, but there's not enough momentum on it to go the length of the ice for an icing call. That's a veteran move there by Paul Christopoulos to get some new attackers on the ice for the Battalion. However, the 67s send it right back into the North Bay zone. So it's Russell who has it for the Battalion, deep in his own end. He skates up to the blue line, collides with Tolnay. Christopoulos gets it for North Bay, and he dumps it down the ice again. Sawyer in the corner for Ottawa. He gets checked, but he let go of the puck quickly, and it's sent down the ice. Stonehouse gets behind the defense, makes a move on Bruvetic, and he scores. Brady Stonehouse with the goal. It's 3-1 Ottawa.
And Stonehouse coming out of a cannon, basically, using his speed. Great speed. And he just rips by the North Bay defense, gets his own breakaway, and then finishes it with getting it by Bruvetic, Derek. So 2 big goals. Ottawa showing speed here this period. A shorthanded goal and a 5-on-5 marker.
North Bay Battalion taking their 32nd time out here as to try and settle things down after 2 quick goals by the Ottawa 67s, giving them a 3-1 lead.
And what I didn't like about that play was it was 2 Battalion going in towards Sawyer in the corner, and then they didn't recover the play in time. So they just watched the puck go down the ice. Then they were shorthanded coming back, and Stonehouse made a move at the line, and he just came in, as you said, out of a cannon, and he beat Joe Bruvetic, and now that's the end of the afternoon for Joe Bruvetic. 3 goals on 14 shots, and Dom DiVincentis, who played on Wednesday night in Mississauga, is in net.
Okay, Derek, got to ask you, is this move being made to sort of shake things up, or is this move being made because coach isn't happy with Bruvetic's goaltending?
I think it's a combination of both. You know what? It's hard to blame any guy on those last 2 goals being one-on-one with a player, but I just found his tracking wasn't really there tonight for the Battalion.
Coe off the draw, going right down the middle. Couldn't get a shot off, and then Sawyer trips over Coe's stick, and they're going to call it tripping against the Battalion overager.
Yeah, things could go from bad to worse. They're tied at 1. They give up a shorthanded goal. Then they give up a 5-on-5 goal. They call timeout, and they go to the penalty box in the case of Brandon Coe. And so it's a 2-goal game. So this, I guess, Derek, this is a must-kill for North Bay here. Otherwise, they could be in tough shape down 3 here.
Yes, a big kill here for the North Bay Battalion. Maybe get a little bit of momentum and try and close this to a 1-goal game here in the second half of the second period.
I mean, that is just an unfortunate turn of events. I'm surprised the call was made. You could clearly see that Coe was out of position, just trying to get the puck, and I don't know. I don't agree with that call. I mean, technically the stick was in his hand when Sawyer fell over it, but
Well, all I'll say to that is there's 2 referees. Even though there appears to be a lot more in the stands, there's only 2 on the ice, and one of them thought that was a penalty. So, but North Bay's really got to pick up their game here. It's not over. A lot of hockey to be played, of course, but they need some momentum here on this kill.
play underway here. It's sent down the ice, out of the North Bay zone. So getting back to it quickly is Alec Belanger of the 67s. He feeds it up ahead to Pinelli. Pinelli at the line, finds Tolnay across to the right side. Belanger there, the shot, save made by DiVincentis, and cleared down the ice by the Battalion. A minute remaining on Ottawa's power play, their third of the game. Russell steals it at the Ottawa blue line, doesn't have the lane to go forward, so now he goes all the way back to his own end, finds Winslow, and Winslow now dumps it down the ice, right up ahead to Russell, who's down low in the zone. He goes into the near side corner, and Russell is doing it all himself out there. Skates to the far side with control, gets back out of the zone and sends it down the ice to Nelson in front of the Battalion net. Nelson sends it back up ahead to Petrov, who was at the line, but it took a weird deflection behind him, and so he had to avoid the offside call. But Mitchell Russell almost killed 40 seconds of penalty time by himself with a little bit of assist from his defenders on that penalty kill. Now Ottawa back on the attack here. It's Sermon at the line. He goes to the right side, poked off his stick, and it's cleared out of the zone. Shot right back in, so Ottawa has to retreat. They come back in onside, but check that, Winslow holding it behind his own net. Now fires it down the ice. 10:50 to play in the second period. 3-1 the score for Ottawa. And Ottawa trying to get it out of their zone now. Sermon has it in the middle. He skates away from a hit, and he sends it down the ice right towards DiVincentis, who kicks it into the near side corner. It's Nelson, Christopoulos there. Sends it to the far side boards, back to the middle. Christopoulos clears some room. He finds Coe going down the ice. Coe cuts to the left side in the Ottawa zone, right to the middle. Petrov shot, and it's wide of the net. Off the boards to the near side, now down the ice. It's Gayden-Mack there. Gayden-Mack gets it knocked off his stick by Mathurin. Mathurin has some daylight ahead of him. He's got Petrov. It's a 4-on-2 into the zone for North Bay. Drops it to Coe. Coe plays it back in front to Petrov, but he couldn't get a shot off as it went right through his legs. And it's picked up by Ottawa and cleared out of the zone. 9:55 to play in the second period. 3-1 Ottawa lead as it's Gilshane on the far side in the Ottawa zone. He brings it forward, tries to play it off the backhand into the North Bay end. Stopped at the line by Mathurin. He sends it up to Sema. Sema dumps it in, but it's cleared. No, Ottawa briefly didn't clear it. Now they get a lane. Now they do clear it. Gilshane sends it down the right side. There's a hit in the far side corner. North Bay trying to come out of that area with the puck. Sent up to the blue line and cleared. Sawyer has it. He fires it right back towards DiVincentis, who lets it go over his glove, off the end board, off the glass, off the end boards, and played to the far side boards. Controlled there by Ottawa. There's a shot on net. Glove save made by DiVincentis, and he holds on to it for a stoppage of play. 9:04 to go. It's a 3-1 Ottawa lead, and we'll take our mid-period break. Bob?
North Bay getting a little momentum after that penalty kill. I thought Russell did a great job using up time, Derek. And that was the first time I've seen the crowd involved in the game after Russell killed off that time. He got a big round of applause. So Battalion getting a little lift. Now they got to back it up with some offense here.
Well, I think the stat of this period is shots on goal, 7 for the Ottawa 67s, only 1 for the North Bay Battalion. They're going to have to try and get something going, try and get some offense in the Ottawa 67 zone. I think it's important to try and cut this lead down to 1 before the end of this second period.
Owen Outwater, happy 17th birthday. Well, I was 17 in 1976, so that's, I guess I still remember that far, but happy 17th Owen Outwater, of course, his first year in the league. He played in the under-17 in Ottawa, and hopefully that's going to benefit him, Matt, in the second half of the year.
Yeah, I think all the coaches are hoping that those first-year guys step up. And again, we've talked about this on almost every broadcast, but the fact that it's a double cohort of technically first-year guys that, you got to adjust your level of development when it comes to 16 and 17 and 18-year-olds getting their first taste of OHL action. Play back underway in the second period. It's a 3-1 Ottawa lead. Puck is inside the Ottawa zone in the corner, but the 67s get it out of that area and out of the zone. Down the ice, it's Pinelli over the North Bay blue line. His shot is blocked, and North Bay clear it. It's Curry on the near side. Right to the middle. It's picked up by Rose. Rose going over the blue line. Rose beats the defense, but then he's pushed off the puck on the near side. To the point, Govro can't hold the puck at the line, and it's down the ice, controlled by DiVincentis in front of the North Bay net. 8:20 to play in the second. 3-1 Ottawa lead. Sent back into the North Bay zone from behind the red line, and so icing will be called against the 67s, and here's a chance for the Battalion to get something going here. Bob, the Battalion have been held to one shot in this period.
Yeah, they're not developing much offensively. That's a good stat for sure, and Ottawa's really done a good job of settling down that top line. They did get the co-goal, but in the first period. But overall, Ottawa's got to be pleased with their defensive coverage.
Again, both North Bay and Ottawa coming into this game having not won in their last 5 outings. Shot off the draw. It's high over the net. Played back to the far side boards and cleared by Ottawa. Cleared actually out of the rink surface, and it's into the North Bay bench with 8 minutes remaining in the second period. Bob, since that Battalion goal, North Bay were out shooting Ottawa 7-1 at that point. So they've now been outshot, 15-4 in that span over the 2 periods?
Yeah, Ottawa's been the better team, no doubt about it, and they've had lots of skating room. North Bay's defensive coverage has not been its best, as Ottawa just skates it in the zone and gets a shot on goal right there.
But DiVincentis quick to make the save, and it's back down to the point inside the North Bay zone, back along the half boards, now into the corner. Hard hit there, but Gerrois doesn't really give up position. He centers it, and Gatomak's shot it's somewhere. It's just ricocheted off to the far side. Everybody lost sight of it there.
Ryan O'Lahan likes to talk about Battalion hockey. What that means is back checking, is skating hard, being in the right spots, so you don't give open ice room to the team when they bring it down the ice, or they have difficulty getting the puck out of their own zone, and I'm sure he's not very happy in that area. He's not seeing Battalion hockey. Defensive coverage has not been as good as it's been at other times this year.
7:25 to play in the second period. North Bay down 3-1. They clear the puck. It is Van Steensel on the shot, and it's over the glass and out of play.
Well, of course, BattalionHockey.com is the place to go to, Derek. These schedule adjustments, they can change day by day, right? So go to BattalionHockey.com. Next scheduled game is Thursday night against Mississauga, but of course, that can change. So go to BattalionHockey.com for the latest schedule announcements with the Battalion.
7:10 remaining as the puck gets cleared off the draw out of the Ottawa zone. It's behind the North Bay blue line, and North Bay in control. It is Romani with it. Turns and fires it down the ice. Deflected off a skate and into the North Bay, the Ottawa zone. It's back around on the near side boards. North Bay trying to control it off the half boards. They send it to the point. Mathurin's shot is off a skate. Picked up by Van Steensel, who fires it wide of the net. Down on the point, Christopoulos there. His shot deflected wide of the net. Liam Arnsby has it in the near side corner. Plays it to Romani behind the net. He flips it in the far side corner for Arnsby. Down on the point for Christopoulos. He fires it. Another deflection that goes into the corner. And that one is cleared
out of the zone. North Bay shoot it right back in, but they've got to get some guys out of the zone first. So that allows Belanger of the 67s to hold it. Belanger skating down the left wing, and he dumps it in. That's a change for Ottawa with 6:15 to go in the second of this 3-1 lead for the 67s. North Bay bring it right back in, and it's cleared immediately by Ottawa, who have it at the line. But they drop it back to their own goal line, and now Gilshane almost turns it over. He has to get away from a hit. He finds it on the far side boards, and now it's up ahead to Surma. Surma over the blue line, sends it to the left side. Shot comes in, save made. Rebound right in front. They lift it up. It's off the mask of DiVincentis. Still loose. It goes back down to the half boards, and now North Bay look to be in control as they try to skate it out. Kept in the zone by Mayich. Another shot comes in that gets blocked. Now some miscommunication in front of the North Bay net, but the 67s can't get another shot off as it's sent down the ice into the Ottawa zone. 5:20 to play in the second period. 3-1 Ottawa lead, and it's the 67s who have it behind their own net. They feed it up ahead to Pinelli. Pinelli sends it down the right wing for Surma. He gets to the blue line and fires it towards the glove of DiVincentis, who leaves it there for Lukin, who skates it up to Russell, who clears the zone. Russell gets by the defense, going towards the net, backhand, and it's off the side of the net. And then the goaltender, Cranley, actually knocked the net off its mooring. So we'll have a stoppage in play. 4:59 to go in the second period. 3-1 Ottawa lead.
Derek, I got to ask you a question about, it seems Ottawa, the puck doesn't stay in the Ottawa zone very long. Well, when Ottawa gets the zone in the North Bay zone, gets the puck in the North Bay zone, stays there a little longer.
I think that's been one of the big key differences tonight is just offensive zone time. The North Bay Battalion haven't been able to get easily into the Ottawa zone and not staying in it when they do.
North Bay keep the puck in off the draw. It's fired to the far side boards to Coe to the right side to Nelson. Nelson flips it back into the far side corner. Ricocheted off the boards and now stuck on the end boards. Coe and Russell back there trying to fight for position. It's poked out of the way by Tolnay, but he can't clear. Kept in the near side corner. The shot comes in, and that is blocked. Now it's to the far side boards, and Ottawa looking to clear. They do get it over the blue line. Tolnay on the carry. He comes down the right wing, flips it up ahead to Laforme. Laforme on the back end, feeds it across, but they can't get a shot off. It's Russell with the puck now on the near side half boards. Tolnay comes in on the poke check again. Knocked off his stick. Laforme into the corner, back out in front. It's Sawyer there. The shot comes in. Glove save made by DiVincentis. And then his glove came right up to the face of Sirizotti. And they made acquaintances real close right there.
Yeah, those DiVincentis going not so fast there, pal. That's my puck. And DiVincentis very solid since replacing Joe Bruvetic after that third Ottawa goal. And I see Kerry Moran's young son here. He's enjoying the game. I think he wants to go out there and play, Derek.
I thought I was going to give him my microphone. He'd probably do a better job than myself.
Not too late to try, right?
Yeah, we'll do anything to get more ratings.
Playback underway with 4 minutes to go in the second. 3-1 North Bay trail. Puck inside the North Bay zone. Coming towards the net. The shot saved made by DiVincentis. Rebound chance is denied as well as DiVincentis was scrambling on the doorstep. And again, Bob left all alone as the Battalion defense just leaving him out to dry. Both goaltenders not getting a ton of support from the defense tonight.
Yeah, well, Matt, I think it's Battalion hockey, right? Not a lot of back checking back there. Ottawa's got more room than they usually get when they play up North Bay. And, the fact that Ryan Houlihan called timeout, I can't remember a game this year where he's called timeout that early. It's an indication that he's very unsatisfied with the defensive play here today.
Does having that seventh defenseman making rotations a little awkward and not knowing who you're with?
Yeah, that could be it. That's a great point, Derek. Because Govro has had quite a bit of ice time, but I think those are the things you work on, and it shouldn't be a surprise.
No, they played with 7 the other night.
So with 3:15 to go, Ottawa back in the zone. Their shot wide of the net, picked up by Lukin, and he clears the zone. But his clearing attempt is off the backside of an Ottawa player. and now it's right back into the North Bay end. Play on the far side boards, knocked away from that area. Picked up behind the net by Paul DeLu. He clears it to the near side boards and gets out of the zone. Mayich tried to dump it back in, but that got turned over. Now North Bay kick it away from themselves at the Ottawa blue line, and LaForme picks it up, and he dumps it in. 2:45 to play as North Bay looking to get it out of the zone again. It's ricocheted off the far side boards and cleared. Picking up quickly at the Ottawa blue line is Belanger. He feeds it up ahead. LaForme coming into the zone. He sends it to the middle. It's off the stick of Tolnay, and North Bay have a chance down the ice. It was a stretch pass behind the D to Coe, but he couldn't handle the pass. It goes off his stick into the far side corner, and he's got it there. Sends it to the point. Back into the corner for Coe. Coe tries to skate to the middle, leaves it for Winslow. Winslow behind the net to Petrov. Petrov tries to pass to the far side. No one there to accept it for North Bay, and now Ottawa go the other way. LaForme over the blue line. He gets knocked away from the puck as Russell picks it up for North Bay. He skates into the far side corner, now behind the net, and he's got room to get the puck out of the zone. Russell down the ice, over the blue line, to the right side, Coe. Coe pass across the zone is blocked by two players, and that allows Ottawa to go the other way. Coming down the ice is Dever. Dever's shot is blocked. It goes into the corner. Picked up off the boards, down the point. Shot comes in, save made, and DiVincentis will hold on to it for a stoppage in play. 1:39 to go in the second period. 3-1 for Ottawa.
And since you made your comment about North Bay's shots, they've had one shot. And that whole sequence back there, Derek, they could have had three scoring chances. The breakaway shot, they had the play in the corner, they had the one around the other side, but they got no shots, and Ottawa had the best scoring chance.
Puck bounces, puck bounces.
1:30 to play now in the second period. 3-1. Ottawa lead, and the puck is flipped up over the glass and out of play.
126, and it'll be. I don't know if there will be any yelling or screaming in the intermission, Matt, but I think it'll be a stern message from Coach Houlihan. I'm sure he's not very happy with the first 40 minutes here.
No, I don't know what you can point to as overly positive for the North Bay Battalion tonight so far. Playback underway. Giroux coming down the left wing side. Tries to get around the defense, but Christopoulos holds him up at the line. The puck goes into the near side corner, and there's a battle ensuing there. Govro of the Battalion comes away from that area with the puck, and he clears it down the right wing side for Arnsby. Arnsby skates in over the blue line. Then he lost the puck as it's cleared quickly by Ottawa. Pinelli going in over the blue line. To the left side, Giroux. Giroux is hit hard by Sema, and the Battalion get the puck out of the zone. 45 seconds to play in the second. 3-1 Ottawa lead. Smith sends it down the far side and dumped into the North Bay zone. Govro picks it up. Turns it over in front of his net, but quickly getting it back is Rose. It's now to the near side. Russell gets it up to the blue line. Can't clear the zone, though. Stonehouse has it. Going towards the net, now behind the net. Plays it back to the far side corner for Pinelli. He lost it. Picked up by Govro, and it's a high dump out by Cam Govro. Up to the blue line in the Ottawa zone. Stonehouse has it. He gets a pass down the ice. It's chipped away by Lukin into the far side corner, and the second period will come to an end. Ottawa get a pair in the second period to lead 3-1 after 40 minutes.
Yeah, a perfect road game for Ottawa so far. Timely scoring, special teams have been good. They got a shorthanded goal. Will Cranley been very steady in the back of the Ottawa zone and net for the 67s. And again, timely scoring and great period there as they're limiting North Bay's shot opportunities when North Bay does get the puck in the Ottawa zone. For North Bay, their goaltending has been inconsistent. The defensive coverage hasn't been at its best and really haven't generated a lot of offense, especially in the second period. So Ottawa's got to be totally pleased with the first 40 minutes, Derek. North Bay the other way.
Yes, 2 goals in that second period, both scored by the Ottawa 67s. As Thomas Sermon scoring his first OHL career goal, shorthanded to give the 67s a 2-1 lead at 4:23 before Brady Stonehouse with his 7th of the season at 6:56, extending the lead to 3-1 as Sirizotti and Sawyer picking up assist on the insurance goal. Shots after 2 periods. In that second period, Ottawa 13 for a total of 21, and North Bay 2 for a total of 12. Neither team capitalizing on their power plays as the Ottawa 67s are 0 for 3 and the North Bay Battalion 0 for 1. In the face-offs, it's pretty close as Ottawa's won 23 face-offs to North Bay's 22. Only one other game tonight in the OHL as the Mississauga Steelheads travel to take on the Sudbury Wolves for a 7:07 start. And just a change in goaltending at the 6:56 mark as Dom DeVincentis came in relief of Joe Bruvetic. A little bit of difference here in hockey as we're joined now by Courtney Kenny and Bob Coles and Matt Sukram to discuss the past year in hockey. Well, gentlemen, welcome. And you know what an exciting year it has been for hockey as we got back into some sort of reality in this 2021 season start for the North Bay Battalion.
Well, I think the big story in 2021 was obviously the fact that there was hockey. Beginning of the year, it was awful, wasn't it, with the OHL season not taking place, and then we got the updates in the fall, and here the battalion off to a great start in the season, and hopefully they'll get through this period and continue their improvement in the second half.
So, Courtney, one of the big news for listeners of North Bay Battalion is the Frontline podcast. That has been one of your big stories for the 2021 season. How has it been for you connecting with this North Bay Battalion team?
It's been absolutely fantastic. It's pretty much the best way I could really say it. I mean, it's tough to really put into words how well this podcast has kind of taken off. We started in July 2020 as 5 for Chirping, and it wasn't originally meant to be just a battalion podcast. It was meant to be Tom Parisi and myself talking about hockey in general, you know, with a focus on the battalion, but you know, let's talk about the NHL or whatever's going on, because we were bored. It was the midst of the first little lockdown. We didn't really have much to talk about. So what does any Canadian do in the middle of the summer instead of golfing? They go out and start talking about hockey, I guess. But eventually the battalion really enjoyed what we were doing. We had some battalion players on the podcast. We had Adam Dennis on the podcast a couple of times. And then basically the team approached us and said, hey, how would you say, you know, what do you think of making this an official podcast? You know, come on in and talk to us a little bit and we'll figure things out. So that was about September 2020. We finally made the announcement in November 2020 after haggling over some details. And 2021's been a banner year for the Frontline podcast. You know, it's been a lot of growth we've seen, and now it's become more than just the podcast. It's become a broadcast as well, with you fine gentlemen on it. It's been absolutely wonderful to be a part of this with you guys, and it's been wonderful to be a part of the podcast with Tom, and it's been wonderful to be working with the battalion, who've been grade A since we started working with one another. They've really kind of changed their focus over the past couple of years from, you know, where things have been, and they've kind of been more open to more creative ideas and trying to get their brand out there, and we're happy to do that for them. And we always hear from, you know, be it Nick Morin on the podcast or Adam Dennis or Ryan Houlihan. They're all very thankful for the podcast, and it's really gratifying to hear that. And I'm going to start tearing up a little bit with how much this podcast means to me, because it's just amazing to think that some people would want to listen to myself and Tom talk about hockey every single week. So, and I got to thank anyone who tunes in to listen to it, and you guys for being a part of it. It really warms my heart and really makes me feel special.
I want to go back to the start of 2021 and especially with you, Courtney and Tom, and the podcast. How difficult was it to talk to Adam Dennis and that with the on and off of what it was supposed to be for the OHL in January?
So it wasn't as difficult as one might think, because in January actually it was a lot of alumni stuff. They wanted to do a lot. They wanted to do it like an alumni month. So we had Matt Struthers, Brad Chenier, and Luke Moncada started things off, kind of thing. We had Matt and Bob on the podcast for the first time last January. It was so much. We talked way too much, so it ended up becoming a two-parter because it would have been 2 hours of a podcast, and nobody has any time for that. But it was great to have them on, and it wasn't as difficult as people might think, because Adam was really great at coming on at a moment's notice to kind of give us an update, And there was one time that we had him on. It was a whole 13 minutes episode, a whole 13 minutes, and it was just him talking about the season that was lost. And a funny little background story was we were making our way through the 2020 draft class, so we had Ty Nelson on. We were talking to Dallin Wakely. And next was going to be Tanias Mathurin. So we had Mathurin lined up and ready to go. And then the announcement came that the season had been canceled, so it kind of became maybe we shouldn't have Mathurin on so close to the season being canceled because he might not be a great guest. So that's really the only effect that we had because of it, was we had to push Mathurin back about a month or so, and he was great when he did come on. So it wasn't so difficult. It was just funny that we had been doing this for almost a year, and we had yet to talk about a live battalion hockey game. So that was probably the most difficult part of it.
Okay, Bob, I want to ask you about the World Juniors from 2021. Back in last January, we hadn't seen junior hockey in a while. I know the Q and the WHL had been playing in some sort of season, but what was it like for you to get that opportunity again to see some junior hockey at the World Juniors?
Oh, last year was awesome. I mean, it was the only hockey out there, right? I mean, the NHL had, I'm trying to remember now, but the NHL started really late.
Yeah, they started just after the World Juniors, I believe.
Right. So there had been no hockey. There had been no sports except for golf mainly, right, and the NFL. So, but the World Juniors, great to see them, and and it was a great tournament. And unfortunately, Canada didn't win at the end. The U.S. won, but it was an exciting tournament. But it just proves the importance of sports in our lives. We really need that, something to hope for, something to dream, something to live for, right? And when that's taken away, I guess it really makes our lives a little humdrum, but we're glad it came back, and of course it's come back at the junior level as well here the last few months.
So we go January, February, March, April, all without some junior hockey and any news really coming out of North Bay. Courtney, I just want to touch on how much more excitement there was for the OHL draft this year.
You know what? It felt weird because usually the draft is during the height of the playoffs, right? So it already feels like there's a lot of buzz for the OHL draft. But this year it felt like it was the start of something new. It was the start of something fresh. The season had been canceled, and then David Branch and the league came out with the important dates to know in about mid-May or early May, I should say. And the second big date on that was the OHL priority selection. The first one being the draft lottery, because they had no way to determine what way it was. I remember actually watching that. I was on a 3-way phone call with Nick Morin and Mackenzie Campbell as we're sitting there in our respective basements watching the YouTube stream, hoping that the Battalion are going to pull out another first overall pick. And then we were sitting there angry that Sudbury pulled it off, but hey, whatever. It is what it is. Where are they in the standings right now, by the way? So, but I must say, so the draft was great. Took the weekend off because I was working weekends at the time. Tom and I did a special episode. Then Bob and Chris Dawson hopped on the next day to do a special episode to recap the draft. Talking to Adam a month later, there was a lot of hype and excitement around this draft too, because it was the first that we had seen. But it was also, you knew there was going to be some interesting storylines to follow because we had yet to see the previous draft class. So right from the get-go, you knew there was going to be the double cohort was going to be a big deal this year for all the teams across the OHL.
Yeah, it was going to be a weird draft, though, because
it was a snake draft, too, I believe, eh?
Yeah, it was going to be an odd draft because you knew whoever the Battalion picked wasn't going to be the focus when the season started. Usually your first-round draft pick is a guy you don't, the media stories, you see no shortage of them. And nothing against Owen Outwater. I mean, but it was all Ty Nelson, right? Because he went number 1, and we hadn't seen him play, and he was out there on social media updating people on where he was and planning to play in North Bay, and so it was just it was an unusual draft in that sense.
And then we come along to the NHL draft, and we see a pair of North Bay Battalions picked. Joe Bruvetic, the starting goaltender for the North Bay Battalion, and a player we hadn't really seen, or we hadn't even seen play yet, in Matvei Petrov. Courtney, you got to talk to, I know you got to talk to Joe shortly after that, but just how thrilled was it to see those two names called on draft day?
Yeah, it was kind of interesting because with, like you mentioned, with Matvei Petrov, we hadn't yet seen him play, so it was kind of like, hey, this guy that we kind of have for the battalion, yay, he drafted. But you felt great for him, of course. You know, you automatically thought, you know, Edmonton's probably going to get a steal here in the second round or sixth round, because we had heard so much good about Matvei Petrov over the past year from Adam Dennis. I remember actually when they drafted Petrov in the 2020 import draft, they had Matvei Guskov was the translator in the media scrum at the time. So, you know, you just felt good for Matvei Petrov. But when it came to Joe, you knew it was a big deal for him to get drafted. He had been grinding away at this, playing for the Voodoos and then the battalion. Maybe not really having the season he had hoped for with the battalion in his quote-unquote rookie year or draft year for the NHL, but his rookie year in the OHL. Until the second half, really putting it together. And talking to him, he was our first ever episode of the rebrand Frontline podcast, and he said his favorite team was the Montreal Canadiens, so it worked out pretty good for him to get drafted by the Habs in the 7th round, maybe a little bit later than he had hoped, but yeah, you got to feel great for Joe Bruvetic. And then he comes back with a Carey Price goalie glove, and he really seems to enjoy that.
Well, don't forget about Ben Gaudreau either being drafted
Absolutely.
By San Jose, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, good North Bay product, sorry, calendar product. I know I've seen him play, and he went to St. Teresa School. Just a little plug there for St. Teresa School.
And he won a medal, too. He won a gold medal at the U18s down in
U18s.
Texas.
It's funny, how like anyone down south will be like, he's from North Bay, but here you have to be specific. You know, he's from Corbeil, or no, he's from Callender, but you know, down south he's from North Bay.
And then come September, we get a little taste of training camp and some preseason action. The excitement was back for OHL hockey here in North Bay. Bob, how was that month of September for you?
Well, I just remember showing up for the first day of training camp, the first intra-squad game. It was like Game 6 of a playoff series. It was like the stands were packed. All the parents were here to watch their kids, and you know, it was just it felt normal, right? It felt normal, and it was so refreshing to see something we hadn't seen in a year and a half, and it's been great. And the team's been outstanding, and they're battling for first place in the division. So a lot of things to really like the way the year ended, and just hoping here they can get all these games in, and because I think this is going to be a special team at the end of the year.
And then come through that month of September, Courtney working behind the scenes with the North Bay Battalion brass, getting this Frontline broadcast to come out into fruition and begin with the opening game in October. Courtney, a lot of hard work there, but it's great to see it coming all together.
Yeah, and you know what? I got to give massive props first and foremost to the battalion, but also to Matt Sukram, who we'll hear momentarily, who came to me kind of in mid-February when it looked like we were going to have a battalion season in 2020. And he says, hey, what if we do a game day, you know, feature video for the battalion, you know, like Sudbury's in town last time they played, you know, the battalion won 3-2 or something, you know, something like that. And then it became quickly, why don't we just take over the broadcast? CCAT's not really happening, so why don't we just do it? And it's worked out great. There was a few headaches to get started. You know, we eventually, thankfully, asked you and Bob Coles to join. You guys said yes, Jamie McKee. And then lastly, Ben Long, you know, who's kind of kept it together on the production side of things, because without his equipment, I don't know if we'd be able to do this today. So, you know what, Great props to everybody involved with this broadcast.
We'd be yelling very loudly, hoping people could hear us.
That's exactly it. Thank you, Matt. So I appreciate each and every person that's put in blood, sweat, and tears into this broadcast. And of course, the battalion who let us do it and we came to them with this idea, and they absolutely jumped on board. And it's been a seamless fit, and it's been absolutely fantastic through the first half of the season.
Nick Morin, MVP.
Absolutely. Nick
MVP,
Morin,
Nick
110%. 110%. And that was what kind of one of the things that I said to him on the podcast, which he didn't tell one story. I got to get this in quick. He said, I forgot to mention this. It was his near miss of playing for the battalion. They were going to pick him up when they needed a goalie. This is when Julian Syme came on the scene. They were going to pick him up in Brock. He was going to go down to the States to play with them, and he would have had to face Dylan Strome because Brent Moran got injured in that game. Fun story. Nick Morin dodging a bullet.
Because he was a goalie for West Ferris.
Yes, he was.
I believe, yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And because he had interned with the team, they said, we need a goalie. They didn't have Julian Syme yet, and they were going to pick up Nick, but he got saved because he didn't have his passport in time.
The Julian Syme era.
Absolutely. Anyways, I'll turn it back over to you guys now.
As the third period's about to get underway, the Ottawa 67s lead 3-1. Now Matt Sukram, take it away for the call of the third period.
Thanks, Derek. Play underway as it's into the Ottawa zone, and a huge hit is thrown by Russell into the corner. And there's somebody who's just trying to make something happen, even though the puck comes loose and out of the zone. And now it's Ottawa carrying it into the North Bay end. It's behind DiVincentis, but he steers away before across the red line, just skirting along that blue paint there. So what a weird way to start that period. 45 seconds in, puck back inside the Ottawa zone. Picked up by North Bay at the blue line and shot back in. It's Van Steensel coming in on the left side. Save made. Rebound to Arnsby, who gets hooked, pulled down, sticked in the face. And they're going to get a call on one of those three things. Ottawa going in the box. 56 seconds in.
I don't know if it was the coach or the leadership group in that room, Matt, but I'm sure something was said about being more physical and coming out hitting and just taking the game to Ottawa, because North Bay came out flying that period. Russell wanted to hit anything that moved. It eventually results in a Ottawa penalty. And so here's the battalion chance to get back into it, down 2 here early in the third.
Face-off won by North Bay. It's Cole on the right side. His shot slapped the stick out of the hands of Boucher on that shot. Sent down the ice. This power play brought to you by Noah Strong. Noah Strong has teamed up with the North Bay Regional Health Center to provide comfort packs to families in need this holiday season. Head to noahstrong.ca for more details. Ottawa coming back into the zone. Stonehouse on the right wing side. Knocked off of his stick, but two players fall over each other, and Stonehouse is in front of the net, and he puts it under the pads of DiVincentis, and it's a shorthanded goal for Stonehouse. The second shorthanded goal for the Ottawa 67s today. Second straight goal of the game for Brady Stonehouse, and it is 4-1 Ottawa.
And we talked about him, Derek, in our pregame show. Stonehouse, he plays the game hard, he's aggressive, and you can't give him room, and he's had chances. That's a goal where he just outworked the battalion defense. He didn't give up on the play, and gets a goal which should really relax Ottawa, now up 3 here, even though they're still shorthanded.
And they will stay shorthanded for another minute. 9 seconds as North Bay sends the puck into the zone. On the half boards, down to Rose, now to Winslow, back to the right side. It's Mathurin there, to the left side to Rose, back to the right side to Winslow. Winslow looks across, tries to find Curry, it's behind him. Played off the boards by Ottawa and sent down the ice. This period of battalion hockey brought to you by Northern Wood Customs, available for all your wooden decor needs. Tell them you heard this ad and save 10% on your next purchase at Northern Wood Customs. It's sent back into the Ottawa zone. Gloved down by the goaltender Cranley. And he really hasn't been busy outside of the opening 10 minutes of this game. It is 4-1 Ottawa, who are shorthanded for another 36 seconds.
I did a good job of holding Ottawa in the first period. Remember, North Bay scored the first goal of the game, Matt, but you're right. Ottawa has been the better team really since the start of the second period, and 2 shorties just shows you North Bay not working very hard defensively.
Ottawa back in the North Bay zone. It's Stonehouse again, but then he gets knocked off the puck by Mathurin. Mathurin racing down the ice on the left wing side, going towards the net. He's pushed off the puck, but he gets it back behind the net. Now he's knocked away from it. It's cleared down the ice by Ottawa. 2:45 gone in the third period. North Bay down 4-1, and it's about to be 5-on-5 again here. Coming into the Ottawa zone is Romani. It's off his stick, up and over the glass, and out of play on the shot from Romani. 2:59 in, and Bob, we talked about it right off the bat. Special teams going to be a big factor in this game. Well, maybe not thinking that it was going to be because Ottawa was going to score a couple of shorthanded goals.
No, two shorties, really. But it's just through hard work and extra effort, those two goals. And that's how you score shorthanded goals, Derek.
Yeah, good job there by Stonehouse, using his body positioning to absorb the North Bay Battalion hits behind the goal before tucking it in.
Play back underway. Russell to the goal. Sends it behind the net. Coe carries it around. Tries to go on the glove side post of Cranley, but it's blocked and cleared out of the zone. Giroir has it in the neutral zone. He fires it into the North Bay end. Picked up quickly by Nelson, who finds Winslow, and they send it down the ice for Coe. Coe's pass across the blue line is blocked and sent back out of the Ottawa zone. Nelson behind his own blue line in the North Bay end. Sends it back up to the North Bay, to the Ottawa blue line to Coe. Coe gets it off his stick, and now it's onto the stick of Russell, who tries to enter on the left wing side. That got blocked, and it's sent back down the ice. Rose has it in the neutral zone. He gets it up ahead to Russell. Going in, 2-on-1. Russell shot off the shoulder, and then over the crossbar and off the glass on the end boards. Picked up by Pinelli, and it's out to the neutral zone. It's Rose who has it there in the middle of the ice. Now to the half boards. Tries to play it forward. That got blocked. Now it's picked up off the stick of Tatarenko. He plays it to the near side to Govro, who gets it down the ice. Trying to get it on the stick of Curry. Curry in the zone, draws it back for Petrov. Petrov skating into the corner. It goes off an errant stick that's just lying in the corner, and Petrov loses possession of the puck. 4.5 gone in the third as Ottawa dump it back into the North Bay zone. Govro has it with his team trailing 4-1. The Battalion youngster coming down the middle of the ice. Govro to the left side. Plays it off the corner where that stick is still lying there. It's now Curry trying to play it on the half boards. To check that to Tatarenko, who got knocked over, and it's cleared down the ice, and Govro still on the ice. There's a long shift for the youngster. He tries to clear, turn over the blue line. Ottawa with control. Sawyer's shot is wide of the net. Picked up off the near side boards by Outwater. Skating in over the blue line. Drops it back to Sema. Sema's shot wide. Played behind the net by Outwater. He tries to center it. That got blocked. Outwater now back in possession. Sends it to the point to Mathurin. To the right side, Christopoulos. His shot deflected and wide of the net. Picked up there by Sawyer of the 67s. He finds Stonehouse. He sends it down the left wing looking for Tolnay. It's knocked away from his stick and picked up by Mathurin. Inside the North Bay zone, who clears it out to Outwater. Up over the blue line. Outwater picks it up again as it's deflected away. He dumps it in on the backhand. Picked up behind the net by Smith of the 67s. He gets knocked off the puck, but helping him out was Constantini, who sends it to the neutral zone. He finds he finds Stonehouse, I believe, in the far side boards. And now there's a bit of a battle going on over there. And the puck finally gets cleared from that area and out to the neutral zone. Christopoulos has it there. He dumps it down the ice. 6:15 gone. Turnover in front of the Ottawa net. Arsby's there, and he takes a shot at it, but Cranley makes the save.
Well, Derek, let's talk about whether or not you think the lack of fans due to the restrictions has impacted the battalion. They're used to hearing more cheerleading, and they're not hearing it because there's so fewer fans because of those restrictions to keep this game available for the battalion fans. What's your thought on that?
I don't know if it's really the fans or just the not being on the same page as the rest of the team. It just seems like everyone's just not clicking like they were before the break.
Yeah, it feels like the team is really just out of sync over the last couple of games here. 6:40 gone as North Bay bring it out of the zone, and they get stopped on the half boards, and it's sent back in on the North Bay end. Winslow chasing it for North Bay. He sends it to the far side boards for Romani. Off of his stick, and a couple of poke checks made. Picked up by Arnsby. Trying to get some room in front of his own net. Coming up on the forecheck was Dever. Arnsby gets away from him and dumps it down the ice. Picked up in the near side corner is Sawyer for the 67s. They send it down the right wing for Dever. Dever fires it down the ice into the near far side corner for Rose of the Battalion. He plays it up ahead to Coe, who finds Russell. Russell coming in over the blue line. Goes to the left side, plays it to the point to Govro. Govro takes a shot looking for a deflection from Coe. It got blocked in front, played off the half boards, sent around to the near side corner. Picking up there Constantini. He gets hit by by Curry, and now it's into the corner for Russell. Russell trying to move it down the boards, turns, fires it, save made by Cranley, and he'll hold on to it for a stoppage and play. Almost 8 minutes into the third period, and it's Ottawa still ahead 4-1.
And Matt, it's very hard to lose a game if you're outworking the other team. And North Bay's been outworked. I was just watching the last couple minutes. Here's Ottawa up 4-1, and they continue to attack, trying to get a chance, trying to score a goal. And that's really the story of this game. I think Ottawa's just outworked North Bay, and they're good for their chances, and they've come through on some of them. So, North Bay's trying to get engaged, trying to get involved down the stretch, but they've really got to pick up their game and outwork Ottawa here to get back into it.
And a bit of a lineup shuffle as it's Curry out there on the top line with Coe and Russell. And Petrov moved down with Van Steensel and Arnsby.
Coach making a little bit of a statement, maybe?
I think so. Here comes Coe towards the net. Takes a shot from the sharp angle. It's saved, and it's into the near side corner. It's Coe battling for it there again. Looking to move it to the half boards to Russell. Russell trying to skate to the middle. Takes a shot, and another save made by Cranley. Well, this top line, at least for this third period, Bob, through the with 11:27 to go in this third period, they have at least come out to really press the issue a little bit on Cranley, but it's the rest of the team that really has to start stepping up and having more consistency in that area.
I've always looked on, it's nice to have a top line, it's nice to have a line that scores a lot, but it's how the team's overall team game is, and that's what the Battalion have to do. As we talked about earlier, they have to play Battalion hockey, and they're not playing it right now.
And there's a shot, and it's into the back of the net. The 67s with another quick goal. They just entered the zone, put it on net, and got it past DiVincentis. It's 5-1 Ottawa.
Well, and that was a perfect example of what I'm talking about. As you called it, they just carry the puck in the zone, and they get a shot on goal. They go to the net for the rebound, Derek, and they weren't disappointed.
No, a bouncing puck in front of DiVincentis is Gadamak makes no mistake batting it out of midair to going past, giving that Ottawa 67s the 5-1 lead.
So with 11 minutes to play, the Battalion down by 4. And here's the thing, Ottawa has not been a great team this year, but they are 2-1 against North Bay. And they're 11 minutes away from going 3-1 on the season. Well, actually 3 on the year against North Bay.
Well, one of them was the last penalty shot goal in the last minute of regulation.
Yep.
Another was an overtime win. Those were the two games in Ottawa, and North Bay only win came here, a shutout by Joe Bruvetic.
Down to the point, Constantini to the left side. Shot comes in for DiVincentis. Doesn't have his stick, and he went sprawling across his crease, looking to try to make the save. And fortunately, it doesn't come back to haunt him there. Not sure how he lost his stick, but play back inside the Ottawa zone now. Shot towards the net, deflected, bouncing around in the middle. It goes down to the point. Rose backhands it, kept it in briefly, but then Tolnay blocked it, and Tolnay skates it down the ice and dumps it in. And the wild thing about this period, Bob, is the Battalion have given up 2 goals, but they've had plenty of time in the attacking zone.
Yeah, they have generated a lot, really good chances, and Cranley's such an experienced goaltender that he's just so solid back there, and he hasn't given them much.
Govro shot deflected, and Cranley makes a blocker save. Behind the net, into the corner, down on the half boards, it's Pinelli in control for Ottawa. Fed across to the right side and now out to the neutral zone. Couple of stick checks made. North Bay going back the other way. Russell coming in with room on the left side. Takes a shot, blocked in front. Picked up by Van Steensel. Played to the right side boards. Now down to the point. Back in the corner, it's Coe there. Coe working his way towards the end boards. Now back in the corner. That's Van Steensel. Down to the point to Mathurin. Takes a shot, deflected and wide of the net. And now it goes down the half boards and cleared by Ottawa. Sent down the ice. Christopoulos chasing for North Bay. 9:15 to play in the third. 5-1, Ottawa lead. Cleared into the neutral zone. It's off a stick and it hits a player on the Ottawa bench, and so that will be blown down, and we've reached our mid-period break with Ottawa up 5-1.
Of course, Cranley drafted by St. Louis, Derek, and the outdoor game coming up tomorrow night. It's going to be cold, -20 in Minnesota for Minnesota against St. Louis, but I can't think of a worse game at home for the Battalion this year. Just a flat performance today.
Yeah, flat, lackluster. I know Houlihan's trying to mix things up here in the third period to try and get some line combinations going. It just seems like nobody seems to be on the same page when they're out there on the ice. Defensively, they don't know who's going into the corners. Everyone's chasing everyone, just leaving guys alone in front of the net. I don't know if it's having that extra defenseman dressed or just miscommunication. It just, something has to be done with, and Ryan Houlihan's going to have to look at today's film and try and figure out what happened and try and get things together for next Thursday as Mississauga comes to town.
Yeah, Mississauga will be ready for them. They've beaten them twice in a row, and North Bay's going to need that one Thursday night, Matt.
And what's funny is before the Barrie game that they lost here 1-0, we had said that they never look like they're out of a game, and certainly they weren't out of a game losing 1-0 to Barrie. They weren't out of a game losing 7-6 to Niagara. But certainly before that Barrie game, you thought that there was always going to be some late magic or someone stepping up to provide some heroics at some point in the game. They didn't get that in that Barrie game, and they've really been in a rut since then. Lost to Barrie, overtime loss to Niagara, 7-6, and then back-to-back losses on the road to Mississauga. Mathurin with a shot towards the to the Ottawa net. That's stopped. Seymour with a chance at the sharp angle. That's stopped. Out to the line. Mathurin diving to keep it in. Played across to Christopoulos. Shot comes in and just deflected wide. They had Cranley going one way. The puck went the other, but it didn't go the direction the Battalion wanted it to, which is directly over the goal line. And so the score remains 5-1. 7:50 to go, and North Bay are about to go back on the penalty kill as Stonehouse was tripped on the half boards on the far side by Sema, and Sema will go to the penalty box.
And looking back at that goaltending switch, it was 3-1 when Bruvetic was taken out. And I think looking back, maybe the coaches know, and they said maybe we got to take our goalie out here to just jumpstart our team. Maybe it'll get him engaged in the game. Hasn't worked out for Coach Houlihan and staff, but looking back, it was sort of like, okay, let's change the momentum, Matt, but it hasn't been changed. Ottawa, 2 more goals since then.
Sent down the ice, the Battalion clearing. They're down by a man. They're down by 4 goals. 4th power play of the game for the 67s. They are 0 for 3 on their power play chances. But again, 2 shorthanded goals have really been a difference maker in this one. Ottawa in control inside the zone. Pinelli lost it off the boards, and it's picked up by North Bay and sent right down the ice. Here comes Pinelli back in the zone. Drops it to the line for Gaydamak. Gaydamak going in the corner. Shifts it back to the point to Belanger. Shot comes in, save made by DiVincentis. In on the near side corner, hard hit. Arnsby throwing the body. The puck comes to the point. Belanger pinching in to keep it there. Blocked by Nelson on the half boards. He tries to get it out. Another block by Belanger. Holding the puck at the blue line now. He skates to the middle of the zone. To the left side to Constantini. Back to the point to Belanger. He takes a shot, deflected high. Played in off the glass behind the net by Mathern. He finds Arnsby back there. They get the puck away from that area, but on the clear, it's shot off the glass and into the netting by Nelson. And so there will be a stoppage in play. 40 seconds to go on the Ottawa power play. 6:29 to play in the third. It's 5-1 for Ottawa.
And Derek, Matt talked about that 1-0 game to Barrie. The night before they lost in the shootout, they ran into Matt Guzda that weekend. You were at that game. So it's been a while since North Bay's put together a win, and it's going to be some interesting practice sessions here, I think, this week for the troops.
Most definitely, and not saying that it's scoring that needs to be done. It's just it's hard relying on that one line all the time to put that many pucks in the net, and they got to find a way to get that secondary scoring.
Ottawa bring the puck back into the North Bay zone. They get stopped on the half boards. Russell was trying to carry the puck forward. That got blocked. Back inside the North Bay zone. Ottawa trying to get towards the front of the net. Another block there off a shot, and it goes to the far side boards and cleared out of the zone quickly by North Bay. Back out on the ice is Sema with 5:45 to play in the third. 5-1 Ottawa lead as they bring it in. Gardner trying to hold the line. It gets pushed into the corner. And now in front of the net, but cleared to the far side board. Sema picks it up there, and he races down the right wing side. Tries to get to Podolou. Podolou trying to go to the front of the net, but Constantini in control of the puck to get it away from him. Back out into the neutral zone, carrying it over the line is Laforme. He plays it in the corner. Sema's there. Played off the boards and down around to the near side to Rose in the corner. Rose looking for some room. Almost backhands it into his own net. DiVincentis had to turn that aside, and now it's sent out to the middle. Rose dumps it into the near side corner. Cranley out of his net to play it to the line. Picked up there by Sirizotti, skating down the left wing. He's got Pinelli wide open all alone, and his shot is high. Back down to the point. Another chance for Ottawa. Turned aside by the blocker save of DiVincentis. Another one comes in, kicked away by Rose. It's at the line. Constantini fires it in wide of the net. Back out in front, DiVincentis makes the save.
And I think we can call it a slump. We were speculating whether they're in a slump. That's 6 straight without a win. And their last win, Matt, was against the Sioux. And I have a theory here that this team didn't really have a slump from game 1. And they've got a lot of first-year players. Yes, I know some are older, some are younger, but to me, I think this is the first slump they've gone through. It's a natural thing, and they're just going to have to fight their way through it here.
Romani with the puck inside the Ottawa zone, centering to Outwater, who plays it back up high to Nelson. To the right side, Winslow skates back across the blue line, dumps it to the half boards to Nelson. Nelson skates around, tries to send it from behind the goal line out in front. That didn't work. It goes off his skate, now into the near side corner. Behind the net, Outwater tries to center it as well. That got past everybody, and now Curry chases it outside the zone with 4 minutes to play in the third period. Curry turns it over in the neutral zone. Skating in the zone is Ottawa. They play it to the far side corner. Gaydamak plays it behind the net. Now out in front. The shot save made by DiVincentis. 3:50 to play in this 5-1 Ottawa lead. And Ben Long has to update his PC, I guess. 3:35.
Keep it plugged in, Ben.
3:35 to play. Ottawa brings it back into the zone. Van Steensel with a poke check, and he chips it along the boards to get it out. Curry tries to clear. He gets blocked at the line, and it's sent back into the North Bay zone from behind the net. DiVincentis clears it. That's chipped at the line, and it'll go the length of the ice with 3:15 to play. Constantini for the 67s brings it down the ice, down the left wing side. That's Gavin Yules who got hit. And now North Bay bring it out of the zone again. Arnsby over the blue line. Knocked off his stick out to the neutral zone. Christopoulos fires it in, and Cranley has to make the save. Now Constantini in front of his net. He gets pressured on the forecheck by Arnsby. And the puck goes to the line. Mathurin keeps it in. Now Mathurin driving in the net. He gets pushed by Smith. And Smith follows him into the boards. But Mathurin still in control of the puck. He's trying to get some support there from Van Steensel. Smith is doing a lot of good work here, using the body to get the puck away from Mathurin. Now it gets moved to the half boards. 2.5 to play. And the officials, with the puck frozen there, they're just going to let the play continue normally. They would have just called the play dead for the frozen puck, but they just let the clock wind down. It finally comes free. It goes off the side of the net to the point. Shot comes in. It's in the middle. The shot wide of the net. Tatarenko on that one. It's picked up and cleared down the ice by Gardner. Gardner now carries it into the North Bay zone. Sends it to the left side. Now back in front. Deflected away from the stick of Pinelli. Picked up by Rose. Rose tries to send it to Russell. It's out of his reach. It goes towards the goaltender Cranley, and a save is made. 1:48 to go in period number 3. 5-1 lead for Ottawa.
Well, Matt, if that was me reffing and you're looking for a whistle there, I have a New Year's Eve party to get to. I'd say let them play. It's a 5-1 game, but seriously, yeah, it's been that kind of game. North Bay hasn't been able to win those 50-50 puck battles.
And again, not a lot of quality chances. We haven't seen North Bay utilize that speed in front of the net. They haven't generated a lot of open looks aside from the goal. The Ottawa 67s have clearly done their homework and neutralized a lot of the attacking power that the Battalion have become known for over the course of the season. Another play in front of the North Bay net and a save made by DiVincentis. But also you got to wonder how the impact now of guys missing from the lineup, like a Kyle Jackson not being in the lineup for the last several games, and Arnsby has only been back for the last 2 games, and so a lot of time they had numbers to fill in those spots, but that's a lot of experience that's not in the lineup. You're starting to get guys healthy again. Mathurin back tonight. No Wakely in the lineup, though, so a lot of shuffling going on as the Battalion are winding this one down. It's 5-1. Potalu with a shot. Blocker save made. Sema tries to bring it to the middle. It's off his stick and out to the neutral zone. 25 seconds to go in this one as Ottawa leads 5-1. Potalu has it in the neutral zone. Skates in over the blue line. Going down the right wing, gets some room, puts it on net. Cranley makes a save with 9.5 seconds remaining in this 5-1 Ottawa lead.
Yeah, Ottawa very convincing. Remember, they gave up the first goal, and it's been all North Bay since then. It'll be interesting what Coach Houlihan says after the game about, usually he's honest, but he doesn't call out players by name, but he's usually honest about his team's effort, and I'm sure that's what he's going to be talking about. Effort and execution this afternoon.
3 seconds to go. Puck pushed away from the net. And the Battalion will see their losing streak extended to a season high 6 in a row as they fall 5-1 to the Ottawa 67s. And they have now given up 13 goals in their last 3 home games.
Yeah, a few of those losses, of course, occurred. One was in a shootout loss. One was a tough 1-goal loss, and then a couple of tough 1-goal losses, actually. And then they had the Christmas break. So they're 0-2 before since the Christmas break. But I'm sure that's a little solace for Coach Houlihan and company as they head off, losing 5-1 to the Ottawa 67s. The shots were 29-21, so North Bay got, I think, 9 shots that period. But the game was really decided, I think. That first shorthanded goal, Derek, by Ottawa really tended to sap any energy from the Battalion in this one.
That was the eventual game winner, the Thomas Sermon shorthanded goal in the second period. Only 2 goals are reported in the third period, both again by the by the Ottawa 67s. Brady Stonehouse with his second of the night, 8th of this season, shorthanded at 1:34, extended the lead to 4-1 before Vesvolv Gaidmack, his 14th of the season, closed out the scoring for the Ottawa 67s at 8:45, giving them the 5-1 lead. 2 penalties in the second period as Will Gurrier went off for hooking at 56 seconds and Nick Sema for tripping at 12:11. Shots in the game in the third period, Ottawa 67s 8 for a total of 29. North Bay Battalion 9 for a total of 21. Neither team being able to score on the power play as Ottawa went for 0 for 4 this afternoon and the Battalion 0 for 2. Face-offs pretty even with the Ottawa 67s winning 31-29 in the face-offs. Only one other game in OHL action as the Mississauga Steelheads are in North Bay or in Sudbury to take on the Wolves. 7:07 start there, but again, 2 short-handed goals by the Ottawa 67s lead them to a 5-1 victory over the North Bay Battalion this afternoon. Bob, as the new year comes to close, 6-game losing skid for the North Bay Battalion. Thoughts on what is the New Year's resolution for this North Bay Battalion team?
That's hard to say. I think their New Year's resolution has to be get back to playing battalion hockey. And I talked about this during the broadcast. What does that mean? Well, when the puck's in their zone, win those 50-50 battles. Win those 50-50 battles. And when the puck's in the other team's zone, when the puck's in your zone, you got to work harder. You can't. Ottawa had ample room to play with the puck when they had the puck in the North Bay zone tonight, right? So, I mean, I think it's just through hard work and effort. And yes, they got to play better, and the goaltending's got to be better, and they didn't generate a lot of sustained chances. Putting somebody in front, trying to screen Cranley. But I think it's just hard work and effort, and that's the way they've been all year. I don't think it's any reason to panic, but it's got to be better for sure.
Now, when you look at the lineup, they only had 10 forwards dressed, missing Dallin Wakely and Kyle Jackson. There's two big offensive threats, and then dressing 7D. So you're kind of line juggling throughout the whole game. How hard on the players is that?
Well, it's hard, but I mean, I think players are used to that. You know, you play with who you play with. It's next man up. They had most of their players in the lineup today. Yeah, they're missing Kyle Jackson, but Mitchell Russell fit right into that line. So, you know, I mean, I just don't. I think it's not the time for excuses. It's they just got to bear down more, and sometimes, you know, I know it's a cliche and everything, but sometimes, you know, you're just flat, and I think they were just flat. They had a flat performance. Sometimes there is no explanation, but I thought they'd come out hard today, especially after losing the tough game to Mississauga the other night. The relief in getting to play today after the Oshawa postponements, but they were just flat.
Yeah, and I think as a young core that this North Bay Battalion team has, and going on this little skid now is something that can be used as a learning point for Ryan Houlihan and the team, and learn from this and deal with adversity and not knowing and the uncertainty that the world is today. And you never know who your next opponent is going to be at this moment, or even if you're going to be having a game during game time. It's the way the thing is nowadays, and you just never know. And I thought when Brandon Cole got that first one that things were going to start clicking, and it might be one of those games that fill the net. It's just a couple little mistakes in your own zone cost them goals tonight.
The team has to get in the mindset, and sometimes that's a problem when you have a great line, right? You expect them to do it every night, and they're a very talented line, but they're not going to do it every night. That's just reality. And, you know, it goes back to what I said before, that, you know, they have to play that team game for 60 minutes. And coaches say it all the time because it's true. The team that works harder is the team that wins 90% of the time. That's just the way hockey is as a sport. And if you're outworked, you don't deserve to win, and you don't win. And so I think, yes, you have these great players, and they really relied in the first half on that line and their goaltending. Those have been the two areas where they. And what are the two areas that haven't produced as much through the losing streak? The goaltending and the top line, right? So, and that's where the other guys have to pick it up and contribute and be part of the solution and not part of the problem.
And then when you're thinking about it, and last time I saw North Bay having this many goals given up at home was back early on in October, and then they concentrated and seemed to turn things around on the defensive side. Courtney, I know you got to watch the most of the game this evening. Just what kind of improvements can you see them making in that defensive zone alone?
Well, yeah, it was not a pretty sight here this afternoon. It's a weird time to have a hockey game for in the afternoon. It's thrown me completely off, but it was weird because it was never really a dangerous opportunity for the 67s. There was just a lot of fluke goals that ended up in the back of the net, other than the shorthanded breakaway here and there. And first off, I said this, I know, at the beginning of the season when they allowed a plethora of shorthanded goals. Those need to stop. That is pretty obvious. Those need to be, you need to nip that in the bud pretty quick. You can't be giving up shorthanded goals, especially when your power play is not producing like it has been the last little bit. I know in the pregame show, you guys touched on, how important the special teams would be with how the Battalion's power play was pretty hot, and the 67s were in the bottom half of the league for the penalty kill, but it did not look that way here today with a couple of opportunities, 2 shorthanded goals against. So, those are two things that really need to change. But, other than that, I thought Dom played relatively well. Joe looked a little disinterested at times, but there was no real opportunity or pressure from the 67s that really led to anything. They had only 25, 27 shots on goal in the game, so it's just kind of, the defense wasn't awful for the Battalion, but it wasn't great, and the offense is really where they were lacking today.
So this post-game show is proudly sponsored by Long's Maple Syrup. Whenever you want to get some fine local maple syrup, any time of the year, just go to longsmaplesyrup.ca. While you're there, why not check out their fine recipes, anywhere from breakfast items all the way through to desserts. Yum. I love my Long's Maple Syrup. Go check them out at longsmaplesyrup.ca.
And you know what's great about the holidays, Derek? You can have pancakes any day of the week.
Oh, amen, Bob.
Usually you don't have time during the season, maybe only on a Sunday morning, but you can have any day of the week over the holidays. So check out Long's for sure.
Yeah, I think, you know what, tomorrow morning, definitely some Long's maple syrup on my pancakes and waffles. It's going to be a great morning.
Are you like one of those guys that needs a greasy meal after a New Year's Eve party?
Maybe. I wish the problem is I can't get good fine maple syrup like Long's at any restaurant, so I usually get takeout and bring it home.
That's totally fair. But you know what I find is my recipe for most of the things, and this isn't to take away from Long's maple syrup, but I like me a pretty good greasy burger from Burger World the next day after a New Year's Eve party. So, but they're not open. That's the problem. So you know what? You get yourself a pancake, like Bob said, and you can have them any day of the week, especially during the holidays. Especially now that we're coming out of that weird between time between Christmas and New Year's, where you're like, I don't know what day it is. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, that's totally besides the point.
But you know what I do know is that as of now, the next North Bay Battalion game is scheduled for next Thursday, January 6th. The Mississauga Steelheads are in town to take on the Battalion. That's a 7 o'clock start. You never know what could happen between now and then. What attendance figures could look like.
Well,
what if the game could happen? You never know.
Well, you and I did the podcast this week, and it went out on Wednesday, and it was immediately out of date. Because we talked in the second portion of it. Oh, yeah, the Battalion are going to have a home and home against the Oshawa Generals this week. What are you looking for in that game, Derek? And then we talked about that. And even during the media scrum with Ryan Houlihan, asked him that too. What are you expecting from Mississauga and Oshawa this week? Well, we got Mississauga, and then we got another team that starts with an O. It was just the Ottawa 67s. So at least we got a game, though, right?
So yeah, it was strange working on Wednesday, getting the updates. First it was Oshawa, then it was no game, then it was Ottawa, then it had to be confirmed by the league, and then they got a game in, but not the result they wanted, Derek. But Mississauga is a team. They've lost to them twice in a row now. They've been beaten in good goaltending in different ways. I thought the first game, Basran was like unbelievable in that 2-1 game, and then there were a lot of goals on Wednesday, and North Bay had their chances in the third period to tie it and get to overtime, but again, ran into some hot goaltending down the stretch, and their goaltending wasn't as good as the previous game against Mississauga. So they've lost 2 in a row to Mississauga, and Mississauga's got a lot of talent, so North Bay better be ready. They're going to need a much better effort on Thursday than they put out today.
Definitely so. So the next broadcast is Thursday, January 6th. Game time is 7 o'clock here from Memorial Gardens as the Mississauga Steelheads make the travel up Highway 11 into town. We'll be on air at 6:50 for your long maple syrup pregame show. Courtney, final thoughts from the Gardens tonight?
You know what? It's just nice that we got a game in, considering the uncertainty in the world right now. Like Bob said, it was strange on Wednesday where we didn't know what was going to happen. We started the day with the Battalion are going to be playing the Generals. And the middle point of the day was the Battalion will not be playing on New Year's Eve. And then later in the day it was just before puck drop in that Steelheads game. Just before that, it was, okay, we are playing. It's not at 1 o'clock. It's at 4 o'clock, and it's against the 67. So that alone just feels fantastic that we were able to get a game in. You know what? Even though it was just 1,000 people here and you weren't allowed to get food or drink as of right now, hopefully that changes in the near future. Whether or not it does is, of course, way out of our hands. But it still felt like it was still great to sit here and watch a hockey game and spend, a portion of my New Year's Eve, at the rink and watching the Battalion play and hanging out with you, wonderful gentlemen. I got to really, really thank you guys for that. So final thoughts are maybe the Battalion wished that this game was actually played in March as opposed to maybe New Year's, but as a fan, I'm happy that I got out to the Gardens, and you never know when we might be able to do this again.
Bob, any words from you?
Just good first half, going through a little something right now. We don't know what it is. Otherwise, they're not getting wins. But this team's got a good backbone, I think, and I think they'll find their way out of it. And since it is New Year's Eve, and I know people like to party on New Year's Eve, please, if you're drinking tonight, don't drive.
Just wanted to say, too,
you'll be saving a life. If not your own, someone else's. So please don't drink and drive.
Thank you, Bob, for that message. And of course, we all echo that sentiment. Once I get home tonight, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going anywhere unless I'm walking down the street to get a little bit more eggnog at the convenience store or something. But I just wanted to mention that usually we would have a post-game comment from head coach Ryan Houlihan. Just doesn't seem to be in the cards here today. So that's why we're going to wrap up. And just before I send it back to Derek, Happy New Year from all of us here at the Frontline broadcast and podcast. As Tom says, this was a lot of fun, and we're definitely, hopefully in a week from now, going to do it again sometime.
I just want to first thank everyone for a great broadcast today. Everyone here, Courtney Kenny, Bob Coles, Matt Sukram with the call, Ben Long, our excellent producer, myself, Derek Lindman. Thanks for tuning in from Memorial Gardens. Make the final here, Ottawa 67's 5, North Bay Battalion 1. And again, from all of us at the Frontline broadcast and podcast and our families, we wish you a happy new year and all the best in the new year.